Teddy, you're not.
But you know what?
You're not. Well, it's too late. We already started. Yeah. So Teddy, let me ask you this. What is your system now you're going to use to clean yourself out?
It's called this like Shakely. It's just like these pills. It's like probiotics. You take a pack in the morning, you take a pack at night, and then the main thing's the diet. So I'm just trying to eat veggies and coffee and just cut out the meats and carbs obviously, and try not to eat after a certain time, and just maybe just try to lose a little bit of a gut before the trip. So
we're leaving in 4 days.
Yeah. Well, it's a 5 day cleanse. It's a 5 day cleanse. It's a 5 day cleanse.
But we're leaving in 4 days.
Yeah.
We're leaving in 4 days.
Right.
And then just let me ask you a couple of things.
Yeah.
Will there be a lack of alcohol and drugs in your system?
I didn't say that. What I said was we're going to cut out meat and carbs and try not to eat after a certain time.
So starting after that hot dog after the turn.
Yeah. Right after that.
Oh
yeah.
man, watching
you're
him eat a hot dog
I know,
yesterday
but okay,
was literally
that's
sick.
what I want to say.
I wasn't proud of that, but I was really hungry.
I know. I think I was too. But
I ate it plain, by the way. I didn't even put anything on it. I just scarfed that thing down.
But the way Matt shamed you,
What?
you don't have to stare at him while he's eating a hot dog. He opened his hot dog by himself, away from everybody else.
He ate it in one bite.
But man, you're
actually,
staring at
Actually,
him.
you didn't see the one I ate before that.
And you tell him,
I got two
Ted,
of them.
please look the other way while you're eating that hot dog.
I told him to turn the other way
Yeah.
while he was eating his hot dog.
But I actually got two of them. You didn't see the one I ate before that one. Yeah, that's right. See, there's a lot of things you don't know.
and somehow in 5 days, listen, there's no way you're going to have, we're going to go out after the show, right? We're going out after the show?
I don't know. We'll
And you're going to have a couple of drinks.
Maybe.
Yeah, and then you're going to go home and you're not going to eat.
You should stop drinking.
correct.
You should stop drinking Diet Coke. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. No, correct.
You'd
I'm
be
not.
better off drinking Crown on the Rocks than adding Diet
Good
Coke
point.
to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's disgusting.
Diet Coke is as bad for you as regular Coke.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying soda in general. But so
I think you're
Taylor
right. I think I'll
Swift.
have it
Somebody asked Taylor Swift this Q&A. They were asking her like what her favorite things are. Like she said, "What's your favorite cocktail?"
Did she say 56-year-old men? Because I need to know that.
Would you say what's her favorite cock or
cocktail?
Oh,
so she's like, so she's trying to get to know her a little bit. I think this is a few years ago, and she asked one of the questions she said was, "What's your favorite cocktail?" Her answer was vodka and Diet Coke.
Okay,
it's disgusting. It's not even a cocktail.
But you can't. I mean, if it's what she likes, it's what she likes. I mean, if you say like vodka and lemonade is better, and she's like, I don't like lemonade, then it's not a thing.
Oh, I'm not begrudging anybody. Drink what you want. I personally just think that vodka and Coke is not a.
It's unusual.
It's not a cocktail.
It's an unusual combination. Yeah, I mean, like I know somebody who used to like White Russians, and I'm not talking about the dude from The Big Lebowski, like a real person, in real life, like which is like an unusual drink.
Yeah,
it is a really. I mean, there were when I bartended for a while.
Yeah.
There were some really, really odd things that people wanted, and it was their regular thing.
Yeah, it was a regular thing.
Yeah, and
that
Rob
was what
Roy,
they drank. A Manhattan, an old fashioned.
Well, those are all like the same drink.
Yeah.
But
wait, a Rob Roy is an old fashioned.
A Rob Roy, an old fashioned, a Manhattan.
Yeah, you're right. It's like sour mash. It's like some shit you get at a speakeasy back in 1950 or something.
But I'm not gonna lie. When The Big Lebowski came out, we did buy Kahlua cream and vodka, and we were making White Russians just to try it out because it looks so.
And then when you did it, did you have the white stuff in your beard,
of course,
or in your mustache? Like
probably before I had a beard, but
dude,
that was
is a White Russian.
It's not bad. It's got Kahlua cream.
Yeah.
It's
and it's vodka. Yeah.
It's not a bad drink.
It's sticky.
I don't know.
I don't
drink hard
sweet.
alcohol.
It seems
so.
sticky and sweet though. It's like seems like a lot of.
Yeah, but you drink. I mean, you drink soda. You drink tons and tons of soda.
Yeah, well, I try not to drink soda
That's
unless
bad
I'm
for
out.
your gut.
Yeah, I don't. Actually, that's a good idea. I'm not going to drink the soda. I'm just.
That's it. We talked you out of it.
Yeah.
It's that simple, Mark.
Oh, there's a new soda out. They ran a big campaign. It's called Poppy. Have you seen this?
Is it made out of poppy
it's
seeds?
It's supposed to be pop without the bad stuff. So it's carbonated, like flavored.
No such thing.
Whatever. No, listen to me. I know. The campaign is. I went on their website. I looked at it. The campaign is pretty strong. So I'm like, okay, where do they mark? Where do they have this? Kroger Foods and Whole Foods. So we go to Whole Foods the other day, Kelly and I.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, let's just try it.
Wait, can I guess? $400 a bottle.
They don't sell it by the bottle; it's in the can.
Okay,
they don't sell
six
pans. Yeah, they don't sell 6 packs or 12 packs of it. They sell individual cans. $2.50 a can, 12-ounce can.
Wow,
$2.49 to be exact.
Dude, that's a lot
of ridiculous.
Dude, that's a lot of money, man. I don't know. That's kind of one of the reasons
Matt,
I don't
what are you
really.
doing?
I'm
what are you
texting.
doing? Matt,
I'm
what are you
texting
doing?
Teddy the tip.
I got the. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to text Teddy.
I'm just playing you right now. I was just joking.
Remember Jolt Cola? twice the sugar, all the caffeine.
Jolt,
Jolt.
yeah,
You know,
twice the sugar and all the caffeine.
Had the little lightning bolt on it.
Yeah.
Like you buy that, like
Jolt
if you
Cola, yeah.
Yeah, if you went to like a truck stop, like and you had a long road trip, and you had to just have,
Yeah.
and you could psychologically think, oh, this is going to help me stay awake.
Well, isn't there like a bunch of things that happen at Panera about people? They have like
No wonder
extra
they'll die.
caffeinated.
That lemonade, that chart.
Yeah,
It was like
extra
supercharged.
caffeinated lemonade.
Yeah, the girl died.
Somebody
she
fucked up.
She
Okay,
had like,
hold on a second.
like
Hold on a
a
second.
reaction.
There is absolutely zero proof that she died from that stuff.
Probably, but that's what the story says.
I
So
don't know.
know.
The story is she had it and she died, but there's zero proof that she had that and that literally caused her to die.
Allegedly, they're still investigating.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just I don't know. It's just extra caffeinated. I can't imagine there's so much caffeine in there that they haven't tested it out and said, you know what, there's a possibility you could kill anybody.
I don't know. I mean,
I think it seems a little weird. But
yeah, I'm not
it's
a doctor.
It's not like a peanut allergy, right? It's not like because I think they said they put it behind the
can
counter.
you be allergic to caffeine? I guess you could.
I mean, she was.
Right?
I think she's like she was obviously predisposed to something, but the way they made it sound is like they marketed it like it wasn't as potent as it was, and that was the whole angle of the story. But yeah, I agree with you. Without having any further information, we don't really know.
Okay, so there's you go to Panera and there's regular lemonade, and there's like super caffeinated lemonade,
like a charged,
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you say, "Oh, I like lemonade. I don't know what this is. I'm going to have some."
Yeah.
Yeah. That's whose fault is that?
Yeah, well,
your fault,
I
Matt.
think there was another.
Wait, it's my fault.
No, and there was another story to some girl. I guess she was like she had like a peanut allergy, like one of those severe, like where if you just even come in contact, she could die. And I think she ordered like a cookie that supposedly it had peanuts in it. But I'm like, why would you even put yourself in that position to order anything even remotely close to having a peanut in it?
But Ted, if you're that severe, even if you eat something that was made in the factory where the machines have process.
Yeah.
That's why they put it on there. This is
correct.
This has been processed with machines that have been.
But I think Teddy's right though. If you're that allergic,
you shouldn't eat anything outside of your house. I know.
I mean,
scary.
you have to
It's
go.
sad.
Yeah, you have to go to certain places that only have certain things. Hey, that would be a great idea for a restaurant.
Yeah.
The peanut allergy restaurant. No peanuts at all. No nothing. You could just cater to. Yeah.
Well,
it's hard enough to run a business, a restaurant right now. You're going to just do that.
If there's any food with just potential to have it in there, like for
but,
example,
but if you leash it,
but I'm saying like broccoli is not going to have peanuts in it under any circumstances, right? So you would never worry about
that's
that.
The one thing I put in. That's the only thing that makes broccoli taste good is peanuts. I have a whole thing of peanuts, and then I just wave the broccoli over the top.
Yeah, but there's something that could kill you. And even if the store or the restaurant said, "Oh, there's no peanuts in this," but there's something that it could have peanuts in it, wouldn't you just, as an abundance of caution, not even go near it?
If you had a death allergy,
I mean, like because you have like no mistake room. It's not like a video game. You don't get to press the reset button. You know
what's killing me right now? This conversation.
Oh, I thought we were killing. I thought we were killing you softly. With his
would
song.
would talk of senior Swifties help you?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I heard
did
of
you
it.
see this?
I never heard that term before. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's senior citizens, and I guess I don't know 56. I don't know if I'm a senior citizen yet, but
yes,
I guess I'm.
Yes, you are. There's no doubt about it.
Wow,
man, I'm gonna cut you down. But I guess it's all these senior citizens. They're groups that are online, right, getting together to enjoy Taylor Swift. Yeah, they love her.
They like her because of her outfits. Remember that comment I meant?
Yeah,
that is unbelievable.
But you know what?
She
you know
looks
why
like
they
a
really
goofball.
like her? I looked at one of the things online, the senior Swifties groups. You know why they like her? Because she's polite and respectful. That must have been listed as one of the reasons.
They've never even met her.
Her demeanor. Listen, it is one of the hugest things on both of the websites that I went to, the senior Swifties websites, where they just specialize in this. The biggest thing that they care about is that she's so polite. She really is very, very polite, and she's very respectful. And they don't necessarily like the way she dresses when she's on stage, but when she's not on stage, she dresses very nicely.
So obviously they've never met her after 4 or 5 vodka and Diet Cokes.
Yeah, when she's all
with her brother-in-law, shirt off, going nuts. Kelsey and
that guy's man. You know that guy's he's gonna be in prison in
he's not married, right?
Yeah, he's got a wife, I think.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know he's gonna be in prison in 3 years after he's out. He's just gonna be a psychotic drunk. Yeah, he's gonna be going all over the place.
I bet he loses a lot of weight. Like Ted was saying, remember how the guys, all those big guys lose.
Those offensive linemen, seem to lose a ton of weight.
I don't know, man.
I bet you.
I feel like he's a very he could go out and party with us.
Did you have your nails done?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're shining
Wow,
in the
they
studio
are.
light.
No, I trimmed them and then I put a little stuff on
Yeah,
them.
they're shining in the studio light.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of Taylor,
I don't
speaking of
wanna-
Swifties,
What? I want to keep my nails nice. I don't want to chip and stuff. I don't want to
Okay.
crack.
Well, actually, when I heard the word Swifties, I was thinking about. Remember when John Kerry was running for president? There was
not this story again.
Swift boat for truth or something like it was
What?
like Swift boat for truth. It was like the Vietnam veterans. He was in
The
Vietnam.
Swift boat for truth.
Something like Swift boat veterans for
I
truth.
thought it was like the slow boat to China.
No, so when Kerry was running for president back in the day, he embellished whatever he did in Vietnam. He wasn't in Vietnam, but obviously he seriously embellished it. So all the veterans basically came out in public and ratted him out and said, "Yeah, he didn't do any of that shit."
no,
And
it was
that
there was
kinda-
a smear campaign. He was on a Swift boat. All that stuff did have some relativity to it. It's propaganda against him.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it worked because he was
Yeah, I
elected.
mean, he-
so.
I can't believe. I honestly, at this point now, I can't believe anything I see,
I know. I don't either.
anything I read, and the only thing I know is Taylor Swift is very polite. Yeah,
And she dresses
Very
like a
respectful.
synchronized swimmer,
I don't understand that.
or a figure skater, or maybe even a gymnast.
That picture you sent
Yeah.
is just her in a hot, skimpy blue outfit
A
with
big
with
one-piece swimsuit
this.
with boots to her knees. She looks ridiculous. It's all bedazzled.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
She looks insanely hot.
I'm not attracted to her at all. And that outfit makes me even less attractive to her.
I
so-
find the words
well,
you're saying impossible to fathom.
Well, I'm assuming there's a small segment of the incel population that's definitely using that picture for material for later for nocturnal use, if you know
Yep.
what I mean.
I'm not knocking her. I think she's a great artist. She's unbelievable. She's unbelievably talented, and she is what she is. She is a superstar for the ages right now, right?
But you're saying she doesn't dress well.
I'm not into that. I'm not into the whole synchronized swimming suit on stage with boots. Go look up some pictures of a synchronized swimmer.
Hey,
All she needs is to put the nose clip on her nose.
I don't.
And the Speedo
You
head
can't.
cap.
You can't wreck.
Maybe.
Okay, first of all, synchronized swimming is the dumbest sport on the planet. But
Oh,
but
really? man?
only topped by solo synchronized swimming, which doesn't make any sense because you're not synchronized with anybody, right? It was
There's no such thing as there's so.
I mean, yeah, solo synchronized swimming. So haven't you guys? If you guys are online, if you're on social media, if you're on TikTok and you're on
The first thing
Instagram-
that comes up is that SNL skit. So
Oh yeah, but I mean everything is the Olympics, and they're showing all these Olympic sports, and I'm telling you right now, it's getting to the point where they're just pushing away real sports, and they're just coming up with insane
You're right.
shit.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
There's plenty of good sports out there.
But they're picking they're like the most niche, insane.
Yeah, they took skiing, and then they took cross country skiing, and then they put guns in their hands. If they put rifles in them,
Yeah, it's like a biathlon.
and they have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the biathlon. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I mean,
It's not.
It seems kind
You
of
know
tough to
what-
do.
you know,
Here's the problem.
Next
with it.
winter, sketching is a
Skitching.
skitching.
Oh man, skitching. I wonder how many people
Skitching
know
is
what
a-
skitching is.
Some people say sketching.
I don't
No,
know
they
what
don't.
that-
Yeah,
what
there were
is that? I
some
don't know
guys.
what that
That's
is.
why I said it first, sketching. I didn't know if we were skitch or sketch.
Oh man, so if you don't know what it is and you live anywhere where there's ever been snow,
No. Let people write in about it.
what do you mean? Oh, of
Guess.
what it is?
Yeah,
But-
next
but,
week.
But there's so many people around the world that don't live where snow is. They're gonna have no idea what it is.
All right, what's
I mean,
skitching?
So
Define skitching.
so when it's snowing out and there's snow on the street, you grab the bumper of a
Oh,
car
yeah.
when they're driving down the street, and you ride behind the bumper. You know on your shoes, but you're in snow,
You
and
tempt
you just
death.
ride behind.
Yeah, you're tempting
yeah,
death.
Yeah, you just ride behind a car, grabbing onto the bumper as they go down the street.
So the only difference with the Olympics is the person driving the car knows there's somebody hanging onto it.
Right.
Because in real life
Well,
they don't. Right?
You know what the guys? I'll tell you right now. The guys who are really into it, they would skitch on the wheel well. You'd hold on to the wheel well of the car, the rear tire, and skitch. Yeah,
Yeah,
I actually
that's
did
bad.
that once or twice. You know what's
No, I
funny?
never
Still
did
here,
that.
you're still
I
here.
never
Yeah,
did
you know what's
that.
funny? I don't remember anybody. This is insane. I don't remember anybody really hurting themselves.
My
doing this.
buddy
we
got
did
hurt
it all the time.
My buddy got hurt because he hit he was in the middle
Oh, you had a manhole.
manhole. Yeah.
What about the
Really?
guys doing the subway surfing? So I've seen like teenagers like hang onto the back of like a CTA bus. You know, they're actually standing on the back bumper, which I guess isn't technically skitching. It's more just like they're just kind of
We skitched on a bus.
Yeah, we did the buses.
But
for
the
sure.
subway surfers, so these idiot kids, like say New York City, they get on the top of a subway train,
Yeah.
and they're riding the
What?
train, yeah. And the one kid he got killed. Obviously, they hit like something low, like an overpass, and yeah, he got wiped out.
Wait a minute. They climb on a subway train
They're on the roof of the subway
and then
train.
go through a subway tunnel on a train.
Well, that's probably not their intention. they're just thinking the subway's just going to be on the elevated tracks for a while until it hits the subway tunnel, and that's when the room between the top of the roof and the subway tunnel, causes their early demise.
Oh my God! Are you fucking with me?
No, it is a
that's real.
thing.
That's
Yeah,
real.
I don't.
Yeah,
I am.
that's real.
Come on.
That's going to be a sport too.
Yeah, you know what? It could be
blood sport.
It could be an Olympics. I'm telling you, man. When you see the Olympics come on, because it's constantly on my TikTok feed, it's constantly on my Instagram feed, and I love the athletes. I mean, it's I saw a couple things where it's not as cool as what you think it is because they have to spend a lot of their own money. They spend a lot of their life doing this stuff.
Oh, getting there.
Well, but they're true athletes because I mean they're not getting paid hardly anything at all.
So a lot of them are.
and they're dedicating like their whole life to do this like obscure event that you have like 10 seconds to be the best in the world. So I mean that's pretty. I mean to win a gold medal, I mean, that is pretty impressive against the whole world.
There's a small window too.
Very small window.
But I think I think all this time you spend doing that, which is cool, that you could just go to like I think of archery, right?
Yeah.
They have archery in the Olympics,
Yeah,
but they have world championship archery stuff.
Yeah.
Where everybody already
Different stuff.
competes.
Yeah.
Why do you need the Olympics for that? You've already done it. They have downhill skiing championships. They already do it every year. They have all these things every year now that they didn't have before, where all the people get together. It used to be like all the people didn't get together, but now they already do. Everyone does it. The Olympics are like the least important thing on like as far as athletic competitions of anywhere. They have golf now. We already have professional golf everywhere.
Yeah.
They have all these things that they have. They have what was the thing I saw? It's mountain climbing, but it's not mountain climbing. It's just like rock. It's like rock climbing on a rock wall.
Yeah.
It's not like really like in a mountain. You're not rock climbing on a mountain.
Just a rock wall. Yeah.
It's just a rock wall with the colored thing sticking out, and they just fly up there with no regard. Because if they fall off, so what? There's no death.
But they have the harnesses so in case they fall.
Yeah. I mean, at least I don't know. At least have some sort of thrill behind it, where you have to. Well, you have to get up there and take your time, and it's a speed thing. But there's also, hey, you could really, die.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that make the Olympics? I mean, if you were watching the Olympics, you're just like, all right, man. If you go off the side of the hill, you're dead. If you fall off the rock, you're dead.
What? You're right. Like make the biathlon thing.
We're shooting at each other.
No, like when you get to no. So you know how they ski and it's a race, and then they get to one leg of it, and that's when they get the guns and stuff. So you make like the backside of the range, like part of the track, so all the slower people are actually skiing behind the targets. So it makes it that much more dangerous.
So it's like Hunger
So you better fucking hurry up because she's way ahead of you, or he's way ahead of you. He or she is gonna start firing pretty soon. If you're lagging behind.
I'm telling you right now, just change it up. And no, just give them gun. Like, first guy there gets the gun, and he can either shoot at the targets or shoot at the people behind him.
And wipe out his competition.
Yeah. He's got that choice.
That's a way to the gold.
So I actually just saw this a couple weeks ago. This is real. So short track speed skating, which is actually pretty popular in the Olympics.
Hell yeah.
I kind of enjoy watching it. So obviously most of the people who dominate that are like the Koreans or the Japanese. They just happen, I mean, there's Denmark, obviously those Norwegian countries. But anyway, so this is pretty clever. So usually on the 1,500 meters, which is I guess is a long race, everybody goes kind of slow. It's like Olympic running, the marathon. Everyone goes slow.
They kind of draft.
And then the last like 6 laps, when
they
they ring the bell,
yeah.
then they turn it on. But this one skater. It was a female race. She actually took off right away. She lapped everybody and then got to the back of the pack, and they kind of forgot about her. So she was actually a lap ahead of everybody. So and the people forgot about her. So when the bell sounded, she was already a lap ahead, and she just kind of coasted to the win.
Well, that's the coach's fault because there's somebody telling them.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
so that was pretty
that's
clever.
genius.
That was genius, yeah. So she lapped the field, got in the back of the pack as if she never left them, and they just were focused.
All of them were too dumb to know that?
No,
whatever it was.
It's weird that would happen because they do have coaches.
Yeah, but it was
like
it's like 12. It's like 15 laps. So she did it on lap 1. She right away she took off, gotten back
I'm
everybody.
sure that's happened before.
Stayed with the pack.
And I can make this sport better. Knives.
None of the
axe throwing.
None of
knives.
those.
Give them knives.
Yeah.
Put as many people out on the ice as you want, and give them knives. First guy to the thing, he gets the first knife, and now he's got to go all the way around, but he can't knife behind. You can only knife from the front. So if you can get it all the way around, just knife.
None of those athletes can wear blue jeans.
All right, give me why. I have no idea. I don't know
Do you
why.
see the size of their
'cause their
legs?
thighs-
Their
their
thighs?
thighs, yeah, their thighs are huge.
Oh, I
No,
remember we
I'm
talked
not.
about-
I'm
remember
not even
Eric
joking,
Heiden?
dude.
Yeah.
Eric and Beth Heiden. We used to talk
Massive.
about their thighs all
Remember
the time.
Apollo Ono? He was like a famous. Yeah, he was.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he was like
Did
he was
he
a,
crash all the
Yeah,
time? That's what he's famous
yeah,
for,
he was
right?
yeah, he was
Not
American.
winning.
He was American, but I think he was like half Japanese, but he was from America. But yeah, he had huge size. Yeah, he crashed.
Oh,
but then I think he finally won one. But yeah, he'd always like crash on the last lap. You know,
their legs. I mean, they're unbelievable.
Yeah, of course, they train for that
Like,
stuff.
Crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to be pretty big to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just can't wait, man. I'm telling you. And if you're on social media, type in like Olympics or NBC Olympics because they're doing it,
Can we get Snoop Dogg on?
dude.
Because he's going to be doing commentary.
Could you imagine what he could possibly say?
Oh, he's great.
I can't
He's
wait.
great. I mean,
I can't wait.
that's what. See what you're talking about. What we're talking about, these stupid sports. He's going to make them interesting.
He could
If they
Manning
place
cast
him, they didn't say what he's going to do yet. He's just going to be like, what do you call it?
They can't go too. I mean, there's so many corporate sponsors. He can't go too far off.
No, he's cool now. He don't. I mean, he doesn't go.
But nobody's going to be able to really enjoy and have fun because you have to be reined in, man. I mean, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. I can't even think of IBM. They all have an image, right? And the last thing you want is like everybody in the whole world to go, IBM is terrible because Snoop Dogg talked about drugs.
No one's backing out, and they know he's part of the Olympics this year.
Yeah.
But some like the ice, like the female ice skating, like they have that Tara Lipinski and the Johnny Weir guy.
Those guys are
and they're
absolutely
great. And
fantastic.
it's almost worth it to watch it just to hear what they have to say.
Dude,
Yeah.
they are absolutely. I'm telling you
They're
right
awesome.
now,
They're a great
they are
combination.
absolutely dynamic.
Yeah.
And I know Johnny Ware is
He's
listen,
flamboyant,
dude. He
He's
is
flamboyant,
as
but he's awesome.
He is
He's
as
awesome.
gay can be.
But he's awesome.
He is absolutely fantastically wonderful. He's so upbeat and so optimistic. And him and Tara Lipinski, just I don't even like ice skating.
Yeah, well,
I have
that's why
no
you like
interest
it,
in
yeah.
watching
But
it.
they're really smart. I mean, they really
Well,
do.
they're former-
I mean,
they're former
they-
skaters.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
they're like
Awesome.
They give insight. I would compare like what they talk about. It enables you to actually follow along, and they articulate it in a way where you don't have to be a big follower or fan of the sport. You know what's going on instantly just by listening to them.
Yeah, and they kind of, I'm not going to say dumb it down, but
They have fun with it. No, they have fun with it.
They really, really, really do. And I honestly, it might be fake, it might not be, but I honestly don't know if there's two people on the planet that like each other more as friends than Tara Lipinski and Johnny Ware.
So
honestly,
quick example: the last Olympics, they were doing an announcement for one of the short programs where I guess one of the Russian skaters, I don't know if she just fell down, she was like one of the favorites, and she messed something up, and so they pulled her off to the side, and she's talking to the coaches. So I guess Johnny Weir knows Russian, so he could actually see. He was like reading their lips, like what the coaches were saying to the skater, and he was actually broadcasting that to the public, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, he caught what they were saying.
Yeah, he caught what they were saying. Like either he heard them and he was able to translate it, or I'm assuming he was able to hear what they're saying versus like lip reading. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Like, 'cause that was supposed to be a private conversation. He was just blabbing it to the whole world. So that was pretty cool.
No, I feel like they were the original Manning cast.
Yeah.
Which I know you don't like them, Mark. But
No, I do. I've
awesome.
actually turned. I do watch them now.
Really?
Yeah, this whole past season.
Oh man.
Yeah,
You're
really,
converted?
Yeah, big time.
All right.
I'll tell you what else I'm converted on.
Tell me. Go ahead.
I'm afraid.
No, say it.
Ted Lasso.
I told you.
It's great.
It's I listen to me. I talked to my buddy Rocky. We all know Rocky. We golfed with him.
Yeah.
We were talking one day after golf, and we were talking about Ted Lasso. And I said, give me the magic number. He goes, I watched all 3 seasons. I go, give me the magic number of how many times you cried. And he's at least 8 times. It is.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
It is the most heartwarming.
Yeah, I'm
and set. It is just so fantastically, insanely good.
It's good.
I'm on YouTube.
It is
Yeah,
good.
obviously I've heard of it for years. He's like a soccer coach, right? For like kids. Yeah,
It is good.
I'll check it out.
I tend to shy away from shows that are that popular that everyone's talking about, and then
Yeah, so do I.
I don't know. So it took me a while. Like I've never watched Breaking Bad. I've never seen an episode of that.
I tried.
But I watched Better Call Saul, which was
I watched that.
I watched that, and then
but I didn't like it.
I loved it. I really, really got into that. But the problem with that show is they change networks every season, and I didn't know where the fuck to find it.
Yeah, I don't like the anti-hero. He was too much. But yeah, I mean, I saw it. So I saw the first 3 episodes of Ted Lasso on the plane. I'm going to say a year or 2 ago when Teddy and I were on our way to Arizona.
That's all I'm on right now. Like episode 3. They're only 30 minutes long.
Yeah, and I was just like, I lost my shit when it ended after 3 episodes, and we had to still another 2 hours on the plane.
They had to land a plane,
and I was just like, I found myself like aching to see the rest of it.
You were in withdrawal. You were in withdrawal.
I was.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was season 1.
It was that.
And you
good.
have to wait a week.
Yeah, it was that good. It was.
Remember that when you used to have to wait a week?
Yeah. Well, I do.
Or a year and a half between
they
seasons.
They did their job, right?
Yeah.
They had you wanting more, and you couldn't wait
Dude,
for it. Right?
I'm telling you right now, it's absolutely so insanely good. It's that. I mean, Jack Reacher, Harry Bosch, just those things. Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
All those things. You didn't watch any of those things?
No. I don't watch a lot of TV. I'm honestly. Kelly my wife's into The Crown.
Right.
So we've been watching that every once in a while.
Those
episodes are an hour long.
I got to try that.
It's man, I'm telling you, it's really good. It's good.
Yeah,
it's about as good as anything out there. I mean, it's.
See, I got to get into it because I don't really care.
I don't either.
About
but
anything that has to do with England and their.
I don't either.
I tried watching Game of Thrones one time because that was a big deal, and I know it's probably good, but just those period pieces where they're they got that British accent, and it's like Shakespeare. It just puts me to sleep.
It's the opposite.
It just.
Oh, Game of Thrones was awesome.
I'm sure.
I
It's
never
good.
saw
I'm sure it's
any of
good.
that
Yeah, I'm
either.
sure it's good. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Oh, just hardcore sex.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, obviously, that's why it's popular.
Insanely.
Really?
Oh my God! Just intense, awesome nudity, hardcore sex, and I'm not even into that much, but just the horrific violence. Oh my God!
Huh.
Oh my God! The combination of those things, like if you just gave me violence, I'd be like, no, it's too violent. But when you throw in just unbelievable full nudity, full
and
frontal
dragons,
nudity,
right? There's dragons.
never until the end.
Yeah. Well, you have to. Right?
Don't watch it for dragons because you ain't going to see it until the end.
Think about how think about how boring that period of time is. So the only way to make it exciting is like those 2 things you mentioned, like sex and violence, right? To make it
sex, violence, and just
not rock and roll,
hot,
and
super hot people naked,
yeah.
super hot people,
which is
naked.
actually the opposite of what people actually looked like back in the 1500s.
Probably, yeah, right.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so let me do this because I got a couple of updates. And the big one was, and I think I mentioned this when we were out drinking the other day. I said something that we had the AT&T guy in to do some work on the house.
Right.
So many people. When I said, what's the courtesy or how do you deal with people? We had so many people.
Oh, what do you do when there's a stranger in your house?
Yeah,
working
like somebody
on
working.
Yeah.
They said you absolutely have to watch the people that work in your house. We had so many people that said they had shit stolen. They were in the wrong parts of their house or parts of their house they should have never been in to have anything to do with it. They caught workers going through drawers, closets, and file cabinets.
See, that's crazy. My guy came over.
I know.
He was in the office. That's it. He was outside and went into the office to install it. But I actually, not to say that, I think he's going to steal shit from me, just to remove the idea of any type of temptation, right? I took some things out of there that I thought would be awkward to leave around. Why would somebody leave? Like Kelly had a purse in there, but it wasn't a purse she was using. But there were some things in it, and we also had like a laptop
with a money clip of thousands of dollars. So we just so they wouldn't,
I did the same thing.
I closed my safe, like I talked about, like Jackie and I said. We make sure we lock the safe.
Yeah. So the guy had to walk around. The AT&T guy had to walk around and do the signal everywhere. So Cheryl and I took down the sex swing. All the sex toys were put away. The one gun I used for that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just I didn't want anything that was obvious and out there. Yeah.
It's a distraction.
My weird pictures of people that you shouldn't have naked pictures of.
Don't you have a button that just turns the room around?
Dude, wouldn't that?
Do you have a Taylor Swift fathead doll like the NFL, except she's wearing that one piece bikini like she's in the Olympics?
No, I told you guys what I said.
I'm telling you, I think she goes swimming right after her shows.
I told you guys what I said to that.
Swimming test.
So AT&T
solo.
Yeah, and Mark knows this. AT&T sent over a guy, had nothing to do with my install, to try to sell me wireless service.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you've been.
He follows the installer.
Yeah, he follows the installer.
I'm sure
so
it's all a system. It's all a system.
Yes, it is.
So I thought it was something important, right? So I was like, hey, and he goes, oh, wireless. I said, no. I have Mint Mobile. I go, I pay $20 a month. That's it. It's never $21. Yeah. It's never $20.08. I go, my son pays $20, and we have like 15 gigabytes of we have never go over.
Yeah.
Right?
Giggity
I go,
bytes?
Yeah,
Giggity.
I go, my daughter does it. My wife's going to do it in a couple of weeks when she's done with AT&T, when her service is over. And he goes, oh, you can't get the deal I get. I go, I don't want your deal. I go, I have Ryan Reynolds. I go, do you have Ryan Reynolds? And the guy goes, I go, do you have a hot, sexy Ryan Reynolds? He goes, I'm hot and sexy. And I looked right at him, and I'm just like, number one, I was just like, wow. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Leave.
Yeah, I'm like,
Get
you're
out.
done. Yeah, that's it. I was
Actually,
like, you're done.
After the show, I got to ask you guys because I'm paying way too much for streaming because I don't even have cable. I just have like Xfinity.
You got to go to
stream.
Marshmallow.
Marshmallow, yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
out.
go see George, yeah.
Our buddy George at Marshmallow. Yeah,
Okay,
you
go
gotta-
see the penguin.
Cut the cord.
Go see the penguin.
I guarantee you, George. Not this is a different George that we golfed with yesterday.
Oh, Sergo, yeah.
He's going to a seminar tomorrow,
Yeah, tomorrow.
and that's what the cut your cord guy George does. He holds these seminars and like
Okay.
senior. I'm telling you, it's
Yeah, to
him.
get rid of cable. I mean, my cable bill was almost, insane. It was almost $300 a month.
Yeah, ours was
Mine's getting
300.
up there. It's-
Just for television.
yeah, it's going up. I don't even have cable.
And now I'm down to, with everything, I bet I'm down to like $120.
Yeah,
but
that's
I do
great.
have a lot of sports. I got every sports channel you can get.
But this is Marshmallow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean that's.
Well, it's just streaming. You choose, yeah.
I'd still be saving a ton of money because I don't even have that. I just have the just for like YouTube and stuff like that. So I don't even have half of what you have.
No,
and I'm
dude,
paying more. So.
It's great because I can get it. I can download stuff on my phone, like when I'm driving or when I'm flying and
Yeah.
stuff. I can take it when we go on vacation.
Yeah.
All I need is Wi-Fi,
Yep.
and we can put it right on any
Yeah.
TV we want. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
give me
sets it
someone
up.
give me that info after the show's over. I know
Okay,
you guys been
absolutely
talking
will.
about it.
I
Thanks.
absolutely will. All right, let's get this thing started. Hey, everybody, my name is Matt, and this is the Real Three Idiots podcast. With me, as always, is a man who cooks all the time and is an excellent at it, Mark.
Word.
That's your thing. Okay. And a man who told us yesterday when I asked about cooking said that he cooked eggs 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Eggs 6 months ago.
It might have been longer. Yeah, it's it feels awkward having an intro after you've been talking for 40 minutes. I'm just saying that, right? Just to
It's-
just
I
kinda
thought
get-
we were done.
It's only been 30 minutes?
Final thoughts,
It's like
Ted.
an elephant. It's like
Ted,
an elephant
final
in the room.
thoughts?
It's like
Yeah.
an elephant in the room. It's like
Teddy, you cooked eggs. We were sitting at the bar
probably a
yesterday
year
after
ago.
golf.
Probably a
A
year
year
and a half
ago
ago.
now.
Year and a half.
Yeah,
Oh, was
and so so we were talking. Mark's telling me, because he cooks wings and he cooks all this stuff. He actually brought me over today vegetable soup. You're screwed, Teddy.
Yummy.
And we asked Teddy, when's the last time he cooked? And he went, I cooked some eggs like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So like nuking stuff doesn't count, and boiling water
No.
and adding ramen noodles doesn't count with the seasoned
No, putting
packets.
something in a microwave doesn't count. Something you bought yesterday at a restaurant that you brought home and warm it up does not count.
So if it's reconstituted, it doesn't count. Okay, got it. You have to cook it from scratch.
Yeah. Well, I laugh about it because they're talking about like millennials don't cook anymore and they just go out, and that's why they're like massively in debt because they just don't do any. They don't go shopping. Yeah. It's an inconvenience, and they don't cook because it takes up time, and so they just go out, and then they wonder why they're they have $40,000 in credit card debt like at age 25.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's more than the eating out if it's $40,000. So, but yeah, that does contribute. But you always hear these like stories too, like you hear about these like financial gurus, like don't drink that cup of Starbucks coffee for $5 a day to save money. Yeah, so what? You can spend it when you're 95.
yeah, no,
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, come on.
I saw a thing about that. It's like you could spend between like $500,000 a year on takeout coffee from Starbucks.
Yeah.
If you invested that over 30, 40 years, that's $20,000 to $40,000.
Or get a Korg machine.
That's a lot of dough.
I mean, get a Korg machine. Yeah, get a coffee maker. I 100% agree, but these are small. I mean, like I said, so the flip side is, okay, you got these people who, let's just say they did everything right. Like whoever financial guru they listen to is like, I save money. I did all the right things. Okay, now your whole life has passed you by. Now you're elderly. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but now you got all this money in the bank. But what are you going to do with it? Are you gonna date a 25-year-old now, or are you gonna you're just gonna sit there and you're gonna like
I don't
sit
think,
on your accolades of like, oh, now I saved all this money, and then when you die unexpectedly, which we hope not, but if you do, then your ungrateful or undeserving relatives, buzzing like vultures around you are going to inherit it.
Teddy has a problem with that.
So that's really all you did. So yeah, congratulations, you won the battle, but you
Wow.
lost the war.
That was
I
a
don't
picture, man. You just painted a
Yeah.
picture. You're like a
Yeah,
Picasso.
Teddy is gonna listen when Teddy drops dead, unless it is surprising or something. He'll be like, I got a will. Usually we don't do a will when there's $1.35 at stake. And he left it to the guy who sold him the last winning lottery ticket when he made $18.
Here's the problem: Ted doesn't expect to die.
I mean,
We're all going to die, but no,
Yeah.
I think if we all like if I didn't enjoy going out to restaurants.
Yeah.
And if I didn't enjoy having a cocktail once in a while,
You got to live your
I'd
life.
be a millionaire.
Yeah, wait.
I mean, honest to God, think about how much. I mean, I could just look at my Amex bill and they could break it down, like how much you spend on food and drink or like restaurants and all.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think they're,
It's
I don't
like,
think they're
holy
talking about
shit.
going out. I think it's like that kind of reckless, stupid spending.
I mean, life happens. I mean, obviously, if you're in debt and you schedule here, I'll give you an example. So we don't know if this is real or not, by the way. So two women from, I don't know if it's Michigan, but they're two moms who allegedly were had their drinks spiked at some Jamaican or Dominican resort and were allegedly sexually assaulted by the staff. Now the resort
should have just saved $5 at Starbucks.
Yeah. Now the resort says they have date and time stamped surveillance video stills that quote unquote contradict their version of events. But that being said, so of course after the fact, these two women started a GoFundMe page, and they're basically saying, "Oh, we can't even afford milk to buy for our kids." And then somebody basically posted a comment like, "Why are you going on vacation to a Dominican resort if you're living on a shoestring budget?" See, that's the type of expense that don't book an expensive vacation.
All fake, Ted. All fake.
Yeah.
Don't give to anybody's. Listen, don't give to people's GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Don't.
I
do
do
it.
all the time.
What?
Yeah, I do.
What is the last GoFundMe that you donated to?
A kid on the basketball team's house burned down.
Okay, that is a kid. That's somebody you know.
Well,
That's
yeah,
a
that's what I
personal-
mean. I'm not
yeah.
giving strangers money.
Yeah, I just what I'm talking about. Don't give fucking strangers money.
Oh,
Stop
yeah.
giving
No.
fucking-
No.
And
Don't go
listen,
looking for
and
someone to give your money to.
If you know a single human being that donated to Trump's GoFundMe
Yeah.
to pay for that, here's what you need to do: burn their fucking house down.
Yeah.
Burn their fucking house down because that's the dumbest thing I've ever
I'll
heard.
admit the last time I'm embarrassed to say this, but I did donate to a GoFundMe. Some guy, he had a private plane and he had a rip in his leather seat and he couldn't take his passengers on there, and I just I felt bad about that. So
Can we
he
start
had
over?
to
Can we
reupholster
start
it.
over after that story?
They had to fly him to the factory.
Was this John Kerry's jet?
See, I've never. Yeah,
He leases. He doesn't know. He doesn't.
Mark,
He
he
doesn't own any
flies all
jets.
over the world, and then he complains about global warming.
Yeah.
No,
He just leases those jets. By
Yeah,
the way,
I've
he doesn't
never
own
actually-
anything. All right, let's get clear.
Yeah, I've never actually donated to a GoFundMe, but I have donated. We've done
You've
collections
given
for
a lot
people.
of charity.
Yeah, we've given a lot to people, like guys.
Right.
We just giving them cash for
Well,
things happen.
Or hear about this. This is a live GoFundMe. Like that shyster Joel Osteen with that stupid howdy doody grin on his face. That mega.
He
preacher.
started a GoFundMe?
No, I'm saying, but people donate to this guy who lives in opulence, and obviously he's a professional beggar. He's a professional cyber beggar. So people who are on a
Professional cyber
So
beggar.
I'm just saying people who are on a shoestring budget because they're so vulnerable, because of the religious bullshit, that the tales he weaves. They're actually let's say they donated to him $200, but they make $25,000 a year. So that's a large sum of money that they could be spending on something else. And this guy's got private plane, private mansion, personal trainer. So I'm saying if anyone's got a one-way ticket to hell, it's that guy.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got the trick. I mean, all these online, all these TV televangelists and stuff, they got the trick, right? They know exactly what to say. I mean, it's
At least Tony Robbins, I'll give the guy credit. I mean, people, they don't donate, but they pay a lot of money for his seminars, because he pumps them up. You're a line raised by lambs, blah blah
hit
blah.
the pump.
He jumps
You
on
up.
he jumps on the trampoline before the thing. Yeah, but at least he's more transparent. So he's kind of doing the same thing that Joel Osteen does, except Joel Osteen has that religious, that homeboy bullshit homily spin to it.
He's begging for money.
Yeah, he's
But
begging
for money.
But these other guys are earning their living by doing like coaches, college coaches get paid millions,
dude,
doing
Insane.
speaking engagements, and so do ex-politicians and presidents. But they're not asking for money; they're getting paid by somebody who's collecting the money. You're right. Yeah.
No, that's different. Televangelists are like
they're
absolute
scum
bottom
of
of the
the earth.
barrel, but
But they have a large. But obviously, someone's buying. I mean, vulnerable people are
I
buying.
told you I
into
was
that.
at the gym and they had one of them on and in
On the television.
on a television because it was just whatever the channel was.
Yeah.
But it must have been they must have advertised a phone number.
Yeah.
In
I've
like
seen those,
20 different languages. 20 different languages. They advertised a phone number so that no matter what language you spoke, no matter where you were, you could call in and you knew how to give money to them. And I was just like, man, I was like, I feel bad for this because 99% of the people that give money don't have the money to give.
Well, that's the whole point. So it's the people who can't afford it are donating. Like I think there was a case in Japan, I think a couple of years ago. So some guy, he actually assassinated the former prime minister of Japan. And so when they busted him, I guess it turned out his mom went bankrupt because she donated basically her life savings to whatever bullshit church of, Sun Young Moon or something out there, and because
So you killed it.
Well, but I think the politician, I think he basically was stumping for this guy. Like he basically was like a spokesperson for the church. So that was like So but I'm saying
Prime Minister?
So this woman lost.
I couldn't do it.
So this woman
I couldn't
lost
do
her
it.
life. She basically donated her life savings to this mega preacher out in Japan or Korea or wherever it was. But basically he's like the Asian version of the Joel Osteen guy, where whatever bullshit tale of he spun. She obviously bought it hook, line, and sinker. So so that was part of the motive when they asked this guy, like, why'd you kill the former prime minister? He goes, he said that was part of it because basically
That reminds me. Why'd you kill everybody in the house?
Yeah.
They was home.
Because basically his family was ruined financially because of this. I mean, she did it voluntarily, but in a way she was coerced.
No, that makes sense to me. It makes perfect sense to me. You know what else makes sense? We have to do Ted's tip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got a good one.
Yeah. Can we
got an
do
answer.
Can we do the song first?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and get started.
Who was that? That was Ted, everybody. That was not me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark's song.
Yeah. Don't. Teddy, you come knocking on my studio door. Same old tip you used to use before. I said, yeah, well, what am I supposed to do? We didn't know what we was getting into. So you always try to tip like a clown. But Teddy likes a little diet with his crown. Start tipping my listener now. Little Stevie Nicks and Tom Petty, baby.
Oh yeah.
Stop dragging my heart around.
Should I tell him what I told you when you were going to sing it?
No.
Mark said we're going to sing a duet, and I said,
Oh,
can I sing the Stevie Nicks part? Can I sing the Stevie Nicks part so I can masturbate to myself while I'm singing?
But not Stevie Nicks today. Stevie Nicks from like 1978. That's what he really meant to say.
And I told him, I go, you ruin everything. He just ruined it. I'm like, it's over.
I was like,
Wait.
Come on. I mean, that at one point when Stevie Nicks is doing, I can't remember the song, the one where she's in the black negligee.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have gobs. We didn't have literally endless internet porn. You literally you could either sneak your dad's penthouse, right, or watch videos. That's all you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, most
Music
of it
videos, yeah.
Kids today are
MTV.
so fucking lucky.
Yeah.
Goddamn kids. All right. Let's see. Ted's tip is brought to you by the newest venture from Play It Again Sports, Play It Again Dildos. If you want to save money on outlandishly priced new sex toys, just come to Play It Again Dildos, where you can find the best in used dildos and sex toys. If you have unwanted dildos or are thinking about upgrading your sex toy collection, just bring in your used dildos and sex toys, and we will give you cash for them. Play It Again Dildos, the best place to go for used sex toys.
They had a pop-up store at the train station last week.
were those toys bleach white before they put it
definitely a pop-up.
Yeah.
There's a pop-up store at the train
I bet there
station,
was.
Metro Station in downtown Park Ridge.
That's funny.
I mean, it's a niche. Again, everything is about. I mean, you don't necessarily have to invent a new idea. You just have to take an idea that exists and work it into what you have.
I told you that radio station was doing a toy drive. It was a adult toy drive. You bring an unwrapped, unused adult toy to the Wiener Circle.
Oh yeah,
It was hilarious, dude. It was an adult toy drive. I'm like, that's genius. That's hilarious.
That's good.
yeah.
There's a market for that.
There always is. All right, Teddy, you ready for a tip?
Yes.
All right, Ted, I need your advice. I've been having a string of bad luck in my dating life, so I want to make a little change to my wardrobe to stand out a little more. Right now, I wear jeans and T-shirts. I want to try either laid-back Hawaiian shirts or a really stylish black fedora. I'm hoping this will help me get noticed when I'm out. Which one do you think will help more? And then he adds a little something. I just signed up to try free diving starting in April. It sounds like fun. Irving, 24, San Diego, California.
Hey, Irving, shout out. Shout out to San Diego, too.
Good luck.
Good luck with the free diving.
Yeah, good luck with the free diving, man.
Yeah, start slow. Anyway, so Irving, I got to give you a little tough love here, buddy. All right, so here's my question. So you've had a string of bad luck dating, so you're going to go from wearing jeans and a T-shirt to a Hawaiian shirt and a fedora. So my question is, do you want to be a pimp or just look like Run DMC? Or do you want to get a date?
What? Run DMC. They did not.
They had a or Kangol. They had that Kangol.
Yeah,
thing.
Kangol,
Same
but they
thing,
did not
you
have
know.
a what?
Yeah, but it was like a felt hat, right?
Well, I don't think he was talking about wearing the
It was either one.
either one. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't all together. It's either he was going to be a Hawaiian shirt guy or black fedora guy.
Yeah, it might as well be both. Listen, unless you got, man, let me tell you something. Unless you got like $1 billion where you could do whatever. Yeah, I'll tell you what. When you got $1 billion in the bank or millions of dollars, you could dress any way you want and it won't matter. But let's assume you're just a regular guy with no special, talents or skills. Yeah, you're just a regular guy in the world. You're a jag, just another guy like the rest of us are. Yeah, here's what you're gonna do. Just be you. Just keep dressing the way you do. Just be clean, be presentable, smell good. Get on a few dating apps. Get on Facebook dating. Get on Craigslist if you have to. Get an escort if you have to. Just to, not for the sex part, but just to get experience talking to a woman.
Just to walk around with a chick.
Craigslist and Facebook dating.
Yeah. So just
That's
to
a
get
thing?
just to get
Irving,
experience.
you will be dead in 4 weeks if you do Craigslist dating. Number one, every girl is going to be a guy, and every guy is going to be a serial killer.
No, but there's legitimate dating apps.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
so-
and plus legitimate dating apps. Yeah, just
Plus.
tune up your game. Don't try to be anything special. Here's the thing: if you're
dating.
let's just say on a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 5 or 6. Okay, so basically you're just going to focus on women who are maybe in the same
2 and 3,
same bucket as
go
you.
bottom of Irving, go bottom of the fucking barrel.
Yeah.
or
Get
two
back
women,
into
a
it.
2 and a 3 to equal 5, and then you're equals with them.
But
Irving,
see-
go bottom of the barrel. Get back into the game. Get a couple of sure things. Yeah.
Well, there
and
are
then,
no sure
and then,
things.
And then get some serious psychotherapy to forget about that and move on to something better.
But here's the bad news, Irving. Here's what they don't tell you. Here's what the professional dating app people don't tell you, or the dating experts don't tell you. A lot of women, especially in America. So in America, men have a distinct disadvantage for dating because if it's just the culture. It's just a sandbox we're playing. And now on the other hand, if you went somewhere like Southeast Asia or somewhere where there's a plethora of women, you would probably stand out more. So there you'd be the hot chick. But see here, you're just one of many. So, and unfortunately, a lot of women here who are in the say like the 4 to 6 category in terms of just their appearance, and there's nothing wrong with that because I'm probably a 4 to 6 myself, but they think that they're 8, 9, or 10, and so they're looking for an 8, 9, 10 guy. So basically, you got a large percentage of women competing for the top 20% of guys instead of like guys like you that are in their lane. So when they do go out with a guy like you, it's more because you're kind of like the fallback or you're the placeholder until something better comes along. I'm just being honest, man. This is what they're not going to tell you on these dating apps. So what you have to do is just be the best version of you. Don't try to be something different.
And move to Singapore.
And if you have to, go to Japan or Korea, man, where you'll be.
No,
you'll be
not
got out
Japan.
there. Yeah.
No, not Japan.
Yeah. Southeast Asia. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thailand.
Yeah,
Philippines.
I would say Korea.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you would need a Hawaiian shirt.
well,
That would come in handy then.
Okay, take.
we're not,
so
we're
you
not
know
in
what?
Hawaii.
You know what?
In Singapore.
If
Remember
you
when
move-
Hannibal
if you
Lecter
move-
went to the
Oh, yeah.
at the end of the movie? He had the shirt and the hat on.
Yeah, maybe take one Hawaiian shirt, okay, and go. Yeah, go. You know what? Get your swagger back. Go to Singapore for like a year or two and just be the king of Thailand, or go. Do something like that where like you're the king, right? You're just
Make
walking
sure you
around.
wear a condom.
Yeah, we're 2 or 3. Yeah. Go down there with your life savings and really get your swagger back. Do what you got to do, and then come back here and kind of strut your stuff, right?
Learn the language too.
I mean, isn't part of it like just being more being positive, right?
Yeah,
like walking into the room and being the king of the room.
Yeah, I mean, part of it's just being positive. Part of it's being confident. Part of it's being a good conversationalist. There's not one variable. It's a sum of many parts. But like I said, I mean, through no fault of your own, or even guys similar to you, you have to understand the context of which you're operating, and the context is. The dating apps are definitely more advantageous to women, where there's a lot fewer women on dating apps than you probably think because there's a lot of fake profiles. So there's actually a lot more guys competing for either real women or, obviously you got to avoid the scammers. That's a whole nother story. But so when you go on a dating app, a lot of these apps, the way they're structured is they make it appear that there's more women out there than on the app than there really are. Because I don't know if you knew this, but an app can take, like, if a woman was on a dating app at one point and she's off the app for good, another app can basically take her likeness or her picture and make it appear that she's an active member of that app. So that's something you have to be cognizant of. Yeah. So don't worry about the Hawaiian shirt or the silly hats. Just wear a baseball hat. Just be yourself. Be normal. Don't be a weirdo. Don't send dick pics. Shit like that. Don't be that guy.
That's what. That's
don't be
real.
that guy.
And
don't be that guy.
Listen and do this. Don't talk about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Your exes.
Yeah, your exes.
Yeah.
Your cat.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't do any of that shit.
And here's the main thing. The funny thing about dating apps. Here would be my advice. The one thing you don't want to talk about on an app, even if it's they open the door for you. Try not to talk about sex, anything sexual related, because women find that threatening, or women use the term red flags. Everything's a red flag, so you got to be careful out there, because sometimes women are a little paranoid based on their prior experiences, so they're gonna collectively punish you for what some other guy did to them in the past. So again, you just have to look at it in the context in which you exist. So again, I would just don't worry, just be clean, presentable, smell good, use good hygiene, use good grammar. Carry on a conversation, meet for a coffee,
brush those teeth,
brush your teeth, and just be a normal guy. Listen to what they say. That's why you have two. That's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, because you should listen twice as much as you talk.
What was that thing I said? Wash them balls.
Yeah.
Wash them balls.
Manscape yourself. Yeah. Ask questions. Ask questions. So when a woman's talking to you, don't just talk all about you. Listen to what she actually says. Ask her follow-up questions. They like that, because it shows that you're interested in them.
Yeah, then
and
you
you're not
pretend
just
like you
talking
care
about
about them.
yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
excellent.
Well, you might care about them, eventually, but but you don't want to make it all about
Eventually,
you.
at the beginning,
Yeah.
you obviously won't, but you need to absolutely
Yeah.
pretend
And
like
fake
you
it for a while.
And you know what? Go out with 2 or 3 at the same time if you can, so you can compare and contrast. And that way, because what's the old expression? A man's only as good as the options he has. So basically, if you put all your eggs in one basket with this one woman and she lets you down, then you got to start from scratch. But if you meet 2 or 3 kind of around the same time period, there's no
like speed dating.
There's nothing morally
That's speed dating.
There's nothing morally wrong.
I don't think dating on speed is a good idea.
No.
Man.
I'm just saying there's nothing morally wrong with going out with 2 or 3 or even 4 or 5 women at the same time.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, because you're just because one's going to drop out. One might like you. You might like one. There might be sometimes you're just not compatible with somebody, even though you have everything quote unquote in common on paper. So obviously that's why the dating industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, because there's so many variables involved. Here, look at this. Tom Brady got divorced. Brad Pitt got divorced. They're the good.
Tom Brady got divorced twice.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're the best looking.
Brad Pitt never got married.
They're the best looking guys.
He did marry her.
Yeah, they did.
Right. Jolie.
Yeah, but actually, I think with
And she got
Tom,
and then hold on, Irving. When you get a chick, immediately when she gets insane and she becomes so skinny and weird, and gets like 10,000 facelifts, she spends like $1 million on
like her dad.
Yeah, immediately dump her. Yeah, because that's weird, man. Yeah. That is weird.
So the point is, you got guys who are obviously financially successful, and then they're like kind of alpha male, good-looking guys, and even they got divorced. So if you look at it in that context,
you have no hope.
It's tough. It's tough for everybody. Yeah, but if the girl you're going on to wants to adopt kids from different parts of the world, because they're trying to save them, then you want to bail out. All right, I'm
Teddy,
done.
I do need to say this
Good
about
luck,
about the dating apps, because Ted, you've never been on a dating app, and neither have I. But I'm
just talking about anecdotal.
I know 3 people who are married and they use a dating service. It's not
Savannah found. That's how Savannah found Andy.
That's one that I was just going to say that it's not like an app. It's a service, and you. I mean,
Yeah.
they are really good.
No,
2
actually,
of my cousins are married now.
My last point.
And great people, by the way.
My last point. So think of a dating app. It doesn't matter what the name of the app is or what their shtick is.
No,
Whether
it does.
No, I'm just saying whether it's a Christian only, a hookup app. There's no such thing. Think of the app as like a widget. All the app allows you to do is meet somebody you otherwise would not have met. But once you meet them, the rest is up to you. You're not going to have to report back to the app. You don't have to report back to eHarmony or Tinder to give them a report about what you're doing. So it's really all up to you. So Irvin, good luck to you out there, brother.
Yeah,
so,
and
I apologize for my co-hosts interrupting me continually while I'm trying to provide you valuable information.
No, I just found out. I looked it up. The marriage rate for Tinder is almost up to 0.1%.
Nice.
Yeah, but the gonorrhea rate 32%.
Well, I thought that was the graduation rate at UNLV or something. 1/10 of 1%.
Whoa, Teddy, don't be that guy. Are you guys good at cleaning your house? Are you guys good at this? Like, is this something you do?
I'd like to keep it clean and neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I ran across this thing. Have you guys ever heard of this? The 610 cleaning method.
No. What is that?
No.
You've never heard of 610 cleaning
No,
method?
no.
All right. So as a group, a woman, actually not a group, a woman who runs this thing called Organized Chaos. Okay, and she obviously was together. She kind of had during her time, she was had trouble getting everything together and everything. She came up with an idea. Okay, and she came up with 6 things that you should clean every. Did you just belch? Jesus Christ!
It's a sign of good fortune.
No, it's not. It's a sign. It's a system where you get 6 things that you clean daily, and 10 things that you should clean once a week. Now, she also has some stuff where you clean once a month and seasonal, but I thought it was kind of cool. You guys tell me if this works out. 6 daily things you should clean every day. Make your bed.
Well, that's not really cleaning, but
Okay, but I think it's like the concept of organizing yourself, right?
Yeah.
Wash dishes,
Yep, that makes sense. Okay.
scrub the sink, wipe the counters, vacuum the floors, and do a load of laundry. That's something you should do every single day.
Well, I mean, I don't think you're doing laundry
What?
literally every day. I think the laundry and the floors seems a little bit.
was this somebody who's like just home 24/7
Yeah.
every day, vacuum the floors?
I don't think
That's
you have to.
ridiculous.
I mean, I don't think you have to vacuum every floor, but I mean, wouldn't it be? I mean, this is just a general thing.
Yeah, I agree with the dishes part because I think just psychologically when you come home and there's like a sink full of dirty dishes.
Well,
I
yeah,
think it
that's
does,
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but bed. I mean, it really when you say make your bed, it's a misnomer. You're really just talking about throwing a cover just so it's not bunched up on your bed. You don't have to like tuck it in like you're at a hotel
like
room.
making the effort. You're taking. You're taking literally what 1 minute.
Yeah.
You're taking 1 minute to
Yeah.
organize
Yeah.
and
I
neaten
get
your
it.
life.
But
up.
honestly, God, you go to work, you leave the house at fucking 7 in the morning, you come home at 7 at night. Who the fuck's gonna want to vacuum? For what purpose?
I think
I
it's
mean, what if you just vacuumed yesterday? There's nothing to vacuum. No one's been home for a day and a
Well,
half.
I don't think you necessarily have to vacuum the entire house. Like, what if you just vacuum the kitchen one day, and then the next day you're vacuuming something each day to keep it clean and nice?
Okay.
Actually, ironically, it's funny you should mention that tip because I actually just read something the other day about a guy. He's on TikTok, and I guess he gives tips to people like how to like maintain their home for maximum efficiency. He actually said deep clean your dishwasher like every 6 months. Like actually,
I actually do that.
Deep clean your dishwasher.
Yeah, we do that.
And that
the garbage disposal.
and
too.
that filter in the washing machine. There's like that one filter you got to pull out. And you want to clean that every so often.
I do that like
Yeah.
once every 2
Yeah.
weeks.
And not the lint filter in the
I
dryer.
should probably do that.
Yeah, and not the lint filter in the dryer, but that other like it's like below the dryer where you pull it out. And I guess there's like when you lose a sock, sometimes it gets sucked into that part.
What?
When you can't find a sock.
Oh shit! I
Yeah.
did not know.
Yeah.
Wait, there's a filter in my
There's something
my,
in
my
something,
washing machine.
No, the dryer. The dryer. There's like another. It's not the lint trap, but it's like another something like apparatus where you pull it out and you can actually clean it out where all the lint,
Oh god
congregates.
damn.
Yeah. So
Okay.
all those missing pairs of underwear and socks, that's where they probably are.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so and these are things once a week. Clean your sink drains.
Yeah, Matt, that's where your missing underwear are.
In a sink drain?
No, in the secret compartment in your dryer.
Yeah, no, they're not. You know what? They're at the bar when I stand up on a table and strip naked.
So
He doesn't
you're
wear
saying,
underwear,
so you're
no.
talking about the sink, right?
yeah.
Did you know that there was a thing out a few years ago? They said that your kitchen sink is actually dirtier than your toilet.
Yeah, I've read that. Yeah.
What?
Yes, there's
Kitchen
more
You have no idea
bacteria.
what I do in my toilet.
There's
That's
more
impossible.
bacteria.
Yeah,
I
I
swear
agree.
to God,
I
they
agree
said
with
that there's more bacteria and shit in your kitchen sink than in your toilet.
So what are you supposed to do? Dump bleach in there or something?
Vinegar? I think it's vinegar or bleach or
We
something.
use because we have a stainless steel sink. We
Yeah.
do baking soda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that doesn't kill. Like,
Well, yeah, it scrubs the shit.
Well,
I mean,
it does smell.
makes
Well,
it,
it does. Yeah, because it does that.
dude,
that
I'm getting
smell.
I'm dumping a bottle of bleach every
like your
week.
kitchen
in my
counter.
Sink.
Your kitchen counters in your sink is more dirty.
Yeah.
It's like one of the dirtiest things in your whole
Yeah,
house.
I agree.
Oh,
Just
God,
because
I'm
of all the
fucking-
food and the grime
Yeah,
and everything
sure.
that can sit in a sink.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, that's why cleaning the sink and the countertops
I agree with
daily is a good idea.
Oh man, that is totally gross. All right, a couple more things to do weekly. Mop your floors. Clean the bathrooms. Oh man, you guys don't do this?
Yeah, no, we do. Yeah.
we do.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then monthly, scrub your shower and deep clean your appliances. Once a month.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well,
We
it's
clean the shower
like the
with the
dishwasher
bathroom.
every few months. Maybe like a deep clean. Where you actually.
I do it. I do it when I look down and I'm just like, oh my god, what's at the bottom of it?
Yeah.
What's at the bottom of the dishwasher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have
Yeah, I've
owned.
done that
Well, I
one.
mean, you guys have owned homes for years, so you probably know what to do. I mean, you obviously are
Yeah. I mean,
I
changed
feel
my
like I
furnace
get
filters
somewhat
and-
responsible adults.
Oh, yeah.
So.
So I can set that on my Nest. I set the thing, and it will show up on my thermostat, and it'll send
Tell you
a
when to change
thing
the
to my
filter?
yeah.
Oh, the other thing I read, they said like either not once a month, but once every few months, drain your hot water heater because the sediment at the bottom, builds up
Yeah.
and could compromise it. Yeah, so drain whoever. I don't even know how to do that. I'd have to probably YouTube it. But yeah, drain your water heater.
I think it's just open up the
valve,
Yeah.
Well,
So I'm lucky
there's an
because
attachment for a hose.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm lucky. I can just if I just move everything out of the way,
Yeah.
I can just open
It's
it
right
up.
by
and
the floor drain.
Yeah,
Mine's
just-
right by
okay.
the floor drain
Yeah,
too.
so
right
that
by the
gets
floor
let's get rid of the sediment at the bottom of
Yeah.
it, which could shorten the life of your water.
So
heater,
my hot water heater was just replaced a year ago,
Okay.
maybe 2 years ago. But prior to that, it was about 23 years old.
Okay, yeah.
They're not supposed to
No,
last
they're
that
supposed
long.
to last that long.
And it was still going strong.
That's
We had
crazy.
no issues, but I was like, you know what?
That's insane.
My wife's like, why are we replacing that? I go, they're not supposed to last 20 years.
Well, probably
So
the
it's
new.
going to go.
Plus, the new one's probably more energy efficient, right? I mean, it's got to be way more.
It
always
is. I
are.
mean, it is, but I mean,
They
it's just the
always
fact that you rather replace it before it goes, because when it goes, it's a fucking disaster, especially if you're not home.
Oh, if it rusts out and
Yeah, I mean,
bursts.
well,
Yeah,
anything,
so
yeah.
mine in the basement right here went. Teddy's guy came and fixed it.
Oh,
but
I
yeah,
remember when that happened. Yeah,
but it just
Yeah.
blew out, and all of a sudden there's just water
Everywhere. Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like 15, 18 years
So my
old.
question is, with the water, you don't have to like shut off the water or anything, right? You could just open the valve, right? Like the pressure's not gonna it's not gonna blow up or anything. Like if you just open up the water.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to empty it out,
Yeah, just
yeah,
empty
you
it out.
just do that. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can attach a hose to it, and
Well,
you can run it out of a
no,
window.
you got to turn the water off.
Oh, the little.
There's a switch.
Yeah, the valve. Yeah, like above
Yeah.
the copper.
Oh yeah, yeah,
you don't,
So
because
you don't.
otherwise they'll just keep filling.
Oh
It'll
yeah,
never,
yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to turn off the supply that goes directly to the water heater, which is right above the
Right, yeah,
which
gotcha.
is right there.
Right.
Yeah, that's. I tell you right now, man. I laugh because they talk about how people aren't buying houses anymore, like because the interest rate's so high, and people
Well,
are just
the, well,
they
just
don't
the
have kids.
Well, just the maintenance too.
Right.
The maintenance of a house. you
Right,
know,
and
fixing.
millennials aren't having kids, so they don't need a big space, right? So they're
Yeah.
just renting and stuff. But I think how unhandy, like I don't want to call him out, but Savannah's husband is very unhandy. I thought I was unhandy when I was a kid.
No,
I mean, when I was a young and I bought a house,
Yeah.
dude, he has no ability.
You just learn quick, though. I
But
mean, I
you
never-
do. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
But
You buy a small house,
Yeah.
something small, and you literally learn how to do all that shit,
Yeah.
or you go fucking broke paying people to do it.
Well, the funny thing is, like, some people are actually more natural do-it-yourselfers than others. I mean, they just have a knack for figuring stuff out. Like I'm probably not a good do-it-yourselfer, but yeah, remember they had Time Life books with like you had to like how to fix stuff. But now you got YouTube, you got TikTok. So
Home Depot's got a good book too.
yeah, I mean, but I wouldn't like knock down a wall and like remodel a bathroom. But yeah, but just basic stuff like change your furnace filter, drain your water heater, do a simple repair like your toilet
That's
bowl
it.
or something. Yeah.
Ted, do you ever
Simple
see that
things.
Home Depot
Simple
book?
things,
1,
yeah.
2, 3.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have that big orange book.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But
It
you can
tells
just
all those things you just mentioned. It
Yeah.
tells you
Yeah.
like step by
You know-
step.
and
how
you
to
know
do
what's
that.
funny? You know what's
it
funny?
tells you how difficult it is.
Yeah. You know how many people are millionaires online because they've just taken that stuff
Yeah.
and made YouTube channels out of it,
I
make
I,
TikTok.
I
and-
watch
yeah.
YouTube all the time
Yeah.
to figure out
Yeah,
how
I'm
to
just
do
saying you
stuff.
don't even need a book
I don't do
anymore.
anything.
You don't even need a book anymore. You just go on YouTube or TikTok
Yeah.
and just
I
find.
don't do
yeah.
anything without. Cheryl got a flat tire. I don't know, like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's like
I had no
second
idea.
nature.
I'm like, where do you put the jack? I don't want to fuck anything up. I literally
YouTubed it.
I
Yep.
sat in the car while it's running in the snow, and YouTubed
Yeah.
a Honda Odyssey,
Yeah.
and where to put the jack and how to do it, and just went right out and did it.
I do it all the time at work. I mean, there's a car I never worked on. I got to figure out how to take this whole thing apart, and I'll find a video.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because there's a lot of stuff I know how to do that other people don't know how to do, but I never contribute. Like, I should put a video out there too.
Yeah.
I think about that all the time. I feel guilty as hell. I use it more often than not. A house, I mean, there's no manuals for some of the stuff that I do.
No.
Yeah.
You just have to know how to do it. If you just have to have done it before.
Yeah, I guarantee you'd probably get a lot of views and followers if you
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah,
'cause
but
it's
it takes. I think that takes a
specialized.
lot of work.
To do the video.
Yeah, I think
Well,
it takes
I mean,
a lot more work than you think, and there's so many people that
I'm not
want to
into
do
that.
it.
There's so many people that want it. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You got to want to do it. It's time and effort. And yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of time and effort, you, Mark, have put in the effort of watching a movie recently
Yeah.
that you would
yeah.
like to share.
I do
with
have
everyone.
I do have a movie to mention.
Okay.
It's not Rosemary's Baby, is it?
Damn it!
I knew it. I knew it.
No.
Part 2.
No, it's Rosemary's Adolescent. Yeah, it's not possessed. It's just a jag off kid. Yeah, it's just an absolute asshole kid.
Plays video games all day.
All right, it's time for Mark's movie mentions, voted the #1 movie reviewer by the Association of Transgender Long Haul Truckers of Australia. They love you, Australia. Listen, Australia loves us.
I love them.
I love them
They
back.
love you, man. All right,
All
what
right.
is it, my friend?
On that note, the movie I want to mention is from 2017. It's titled Last Flag Flying. It's based on a novel that was written like 2005, I think, by Daryl Ponnickson. It's starring Steve Carell, who we like.
Ooh, we like Steve Carell.
Bryan Cranston. Yeah. Speaking of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And Lawrence Fishburne.
Love Lawrence. You know what? The red pill or the blue pill, or which I wish
What's
they
that
would have done.
from? The Matrix.
Yeah,
Oh.
I wish you would have just taken them both and just sort of fuck you, man.
Yeah, Fish is awesome, dude. So Last Flag Flying from 2017. It's 2 hours long. It's an Amazon Lionsgate movie, so it's on Amazon. I don't think it was at the box office long. It was 2017, so it made 1.9 million at the box office. But it's based on 3 Vietnam vets who are reunited by Steve Carell's character. He goes and visits Bryan Cranston at his bar that he owns. So he goes there and visits him, and he convinces him to go travel and meet with another friend from Vietnam. I will preface this like I do most of my movie mentions when I say there are details about the movie that I will not share because I think the story is better if you learn about these details as you watch the movie. But the 3 Vietnam vets haven't seen each other probably since Vietnam. They have not seen each other since Vietnam. But they get back together. They have a special relationship. Some things happen in Nam. And let's see. So the movie starts really. It's they're reunited. And the adventure begins. Cranston is really funny in this movie. Carell is a really great straight man in it, and Fish is also the straight guy too. He's awesome in it too. But it makes me really want to read these books because the story is so great. I can imagine the books are good, but the acting is awesome. You're gonna cry, you're gonna laugh, all while enjoying some really good acting, and it is a great story. It's about friendship, forgiveness, empathy, and how like those 3 emotions or words or things can equal like kind of just love. And it's a really good story about 3 friends. I mean, and they travel, so they travel together by train, truck, car, not really in that order, but there's a lot of dialogue, introspective, retrospective dialogue between the 3 guys. It's fucking funny, man. The backstory's great. The story about what they're doing together is great. It just flew under the radar. You guys haven't seen it, right? Last Flag Flying.
So is it a comedy or is it like a drama?
It's a comedy war movie. That's kind of what it's labeled. It has nothing to do with war. The whole war issue is the fact that they were in Vietnam together. So it's kind of like a comedy drama. I mean, like I said, you're going to laugh, you're going to cry, and you're going to really get into the dialogue. These guys act. You just kind of get mesmerized by the stories they're telling and the interaction between the 3 of them. Great movie, 2 hours long. I knew nothing about this movie when I saw it, and like all the movies I love and I try to see, I try and walk into them like that, not knowing too much. So a lot of the things, like the premise of the movie, you'll get within, I think, about the first 15 minutes, you're going to know what they're doing. But I don't want to give it away because I didn't know. We saw the 3 actors, Kelly and I, and it was on Amazon. We're like, let's do it. You're going in, and you're like, holy shit. So it's good. Last Flag Flying from 2017. Steve Carell, Bryan Cranston, Lawrence Fishburne. Check it out. Oh, and I will say this. This is a side note. So the book by Daryl Ponnickson, Ponicsan. So he wrote this book in 2005. He also wrote a book titled The Last Detail in the early 70s. That was made into a movie too, starring Jack Nicholson and Randy Quaid. The Last Detail this movie.
What was the name of the movie?
The Last Detail. So this is
like I know that.
Yeah. Well, if you see the cover, you'll see Jack Nicholson's like a Navy guy. He's got so this is an unofficial sequel to that. So it's supposed to be the same characters, but it's not. It's different. But the same guy wrote both of these novels that were both turned into movies. So there's 2 novels out there by the same title, Last Flag Flying and The Last Detail. The Last Detail was made in 1973. It starred Jack Nicholson and Randy Quaid. That's a really good movie. I've seen that movie. It's a good movie. This is a great book. Great film. Last Flag Flying.
All right, I need a new book, so I think I'm going to book them.
Yeah, I would recommend those. I think I'm going to read that book too because that story's so damn good. You know the book's always better, right? So if this movie's that good and the dialogue and the story is that good, you know that the book's going to go more into that backstory. So yeah, it probably would make it that much more enjoyable. But
I like that. All right. Let me ask you guys if you would ever do this. Okay, a guy has been and this is the right word, bike packing for 8 years. He literally, no job, no nothing. 8 years he's been on his bicycle.
what country?
All different countries. Asia, China, Europe.
can't ride a bike to Asia from here.
Not from here.
Okay.
Not from here. I believe he might have started there.
I've tried.
Yeah. So he's been basically bike packing for the last 8 years, living on about $10 a day. Is that something you'd be interested in doing?
He must be blogging, right? Because obviously he must be. Because I've
you can
seen,
make
I've
money
actually
that
seen
way, yeah.
YouTube videos where people they're kind of like kind of what he does, but they're like on motorbikes, so they'll like stay at somebody's house, and in exchange for like filming them or their plight, like say donate money to like a poor family, they'll house you, they'll feed you. So
This guy's just a regular bicycle, regular pedaling bicycle.
But I'm saying he must have some type of GoPro or something where he's filming everything. So he's got to be blogging or vlogging along the way. He's not just literally doing
so
that.
Well,
now,
for 8 years, Ted's right. He has to have some sort of. I mean, it's
Income, yeah.
It's
Right,
like
so-
what he does. That's his thing, right? That's his career.
right. So when he started, he did not.
Right.
But now
It evolved into that.
So
yeah.
now it's evolved into this thing where he's helping people who want to do this.
It's just-
But
he's an expert.
Yeah, but could you just done?
No,
and
I'll
basically
I'll
he
go
did it all by himself. He's basically done 95% of this just by himself on his bike, going through these countries.
So I'll go first.
Okay,
No, at this point in my
excellent.
life,
Thank you, Ted.
at this point,
Yeah,
at this point in my life, no. But I will tell you this: I know a guy, Charlie, a friend from high school. This is 20 years ago. So Charlie was probably more than 20 years ago. He was like 25. Him and his buddy planned this trip. Now Charlie's very, very intelligent, like Mensa smart. Okay, the guy is an awesome guy, very social. So him and his buddy were living in New York at the time, and Charlie's really smart, and he could go and get a job anywhere he wants. So he's like, all right, I'm going to take 3 months off, and we're going to fly out to California, and we're going to ride our bikes from California all the way back to New York.
Okay.
And they did. So they flew out there, and it's an amazing story. And he documented this. Like he kept a journal. They did pictures and all this shit. So they started. So what they did is they had a bike with one of those, those baby trailers.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
to
talking
pull-
about?
yeah, yeah.
So
To
they
keep all
each
their
had,
stuff. Yeah,
they
yeah.
each had one of those behind their bike, and they started in San Diego, man, or San Francisco actually, and they went all the way through the Southwest, through desert,
Yeah.
through storms, through snow. They drove all the way to fucking New
Oh,
York.
that sounds
They
cool
rode
as
their bikes
hell.
from San Francisco to New York.
Yeah, I mean, I would be more amenable
Bicycles.
to doing that if once I got enough shape to ride a bicycle that far. But but not 8 years. There's no way I would sacrifice 8 years of my life.
And not at
for-
this point in your life, right?
No, I mean, at any
even
point-
for 3 months.
Yeah, but I mean, how long would it take to bike cross country if you're, let's just say you're literally biking and stopping? I mean, that has to take a few weeks,
They
right?
did 3 months.
Yeah,
They
3
were-
months.
they-
Yeah, that seems like my limit. I mean, yeah, for like a once in a lifetime thing. I mean, heck, I'm thinking about just getting in a car and driving from California to New York would be.
Dude, he
would be a
lost
while.
almost 40 pounds.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, you'd have to.
You should see the pictures before and after.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. He was unrecognizable. Like, I'm legit 40 pounds.
How much did they bike per day? Did they mention? Like, how,
Man,
how far?
you know what? I haven't seen Charlie in probably 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember. I mean, he did have it mapped. They knew,
Yeah.
and they prolonged it because it doesn't take 3 months to do
No,
this.
yeah, they obviously
but
stopped.
they prolonged it. And they did. I mean, they made a stop at the Grand Canyon. The story, it's just crazy the shit that happened to them. They got shot like sometime when they were in New Mexico.
They got shot at?
Yes, when they were in New Mexico. So they were back. What do you call it?
Backpacking.
Backpacking or backbike.
Yeah.
Bike packing.
Yeah, so they were
Backpacking,
doing
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So they had their tents. So they stayed outside for most of the trip.
I could never.
So they
dangerous,
so,
yeah.
so they're in New
no,
Mexico.
I'm just too much of a pussy.
Well, they were in
I
New
could never
Mexico.
do
And they
that.
don't know. At that time, this is 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So there wasn't the internet, nothing. So he had maps. This is all hardcore,
Yeah.
like maps and
Yeah.
everything, and no cell phones. He had just a camera. So then they stopped in New Mexico to stay for the night. They set up their camp and everything like that. They were on an Indian reservation.
Oh.
Yeah, and they had no fucking idea. But he knew, like Charlie Smart, he knew where there was places where you just couldn't
Yeah.
pack and stuff. But they were in New Mexico and they had to stop. So he said it was at night, and there heard some noises. They get out of the tent, bullets, like literally, like right at their feet, like so accurate. They weren't trying to kill him. They were trying to
Who was shooting at him?
obviously the Native Americans that
Yeah.
were living on the reservation. They were like, "You're trespassing, leave."
Yeah.
But
they're
somebody's
lucky.
shooting at him, but they didn't hit him.
But they're lucky. They're lucky they didn't get killed, right? Because and that's why
Well,
I
they
wouldn't do
weren't
it.
going to kill him, but they
because-
were sending the message.
But the point is, it's just too dangerous, right? I mean, because you got
Very dangerous.
You gotta basically camp in the middle of God knows where.
Yeah.
Anyone could get you at any time. There's a lot of crazy loose
and
cannons
how,
out there.
Teddy, how
you know.
big would your backpack be? I mean, we're talking how many
Well, I
bottles
told
of
you
Crown?
they had his
Yeah, how many bottles of Crown?
He'd have 2 trailers.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have. I mean, obviously, you'd have 2 pairs of sweatpants.
Yeah.
because it wouldn't take up any space.
Yeah.
The same 2 T-shirts, and then like 9 bottles of Crown. I mean, they'd just be smashing against each other.
There's liquor stores on the way.
I'd have to bubble wrap them to make sure they didn't break.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any money. Where'd the money come from? Yeah. I mean, it's not like.
This guy.
Time. It's a time too. I mean, you know, most people can't disappear unless you're kind of a. You know, I'm not saying you're a bum or anything, but I mean, if I left somewhere and went for 3 months, I mean, I probably wouldn't have a job when I got back.
Well, that's why. Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
They did this when they were like 25, and he knew he was quit his job. But this guy
I can barely be gone for 3 days.
Right. So this guy is different though. He's all over the world.
Right. Yeah. This
so
guy's
when
different.
did it say what he did when he, like, how did he start out?
It did not mention how he started out. Yeah, but now he's actually making money by helping people to do this. But when you talked about that, like stepping away, we went camping with another family. I mean, this is probably like 10 years ago, but we ran into a family from Europe, and they had one of these Range Rovers with a tent on top and everything. And this is kind of wild. They're both successful people, and we talked to them for a whole night, hanging out with them. They for 3 months, 2 or 3 months, they brought their Range Rover over on the boat, and just literally drove across America and hiked for like 3 months. And we're just like, how do you do it? And he goes, I just got time off from work, because it's a different concept, right? Where he's at, it's like, you need that time. We want you to be happy, successful. Yeah. And he literally got that time off of work, him and his wife, to take their 2 kids. Yeah. And they literally camped.
Who are out in school? Who are not in school, obviously.
Right.
Yeah,
well, I mean, it's 3 months. I mean, it's summer school.
I can do that once we're empty nesters, I think, but my wife wouldn't. She wouldn't.
I would never.
Well, here's the thing. Even if I had the time and the inclination and the money, I wouldn't do it, because I just have no interest in it. It just seems, it's one of those things. Here, I'll give you an example. So it's kind of a tragic story. So I guess like an older retired couple, they're part of like a yacht club or sailing club, and they're they sail all around the world, and I guess they're sailing like in the Caribbean somewhere, and I guess their catamaran or their boat got hijacked by bad luck by 3 escaped prisoners who obviously commandeered their boat, and the people are gone. So
wait, so you're not going to camp or do something like that because one old couple got hijacked by pirates?
So but Ted, would you have done something like this? Like,
yeah, 25. Yeah, just because but I'm saying why? What? Like, so when you make choices have consequences. So when you go out of your way to put yourself in harm's way,
you gotta live though.
Yeah, of course, but you can live without going extreme. I can live. I mean, I don't have to go base jumping or hang gliding or parasailing to live, right? I mean,
but I don't think traveling
what's that song?
Extreme.
I'm gonna live.
So one of my
until I die.
One of my
free diving.
One of my closest friends. Brett, this is the day after he graduated high school. The day after he graduated high school, his dad was a big Harley guy, and Brett got his first Harley when he was like 15. So he still has a Harley. He's a big Harley guy. So the day after he graduated high school, him and his dad planned this trip. They both got on their Harleys and rode all the way to Washington State and back. The whole summer. They spent he spent 3 solid months. They traveled. They went across the country. The stories he has, man. The bikes broke down constantly. They had to find parts. They had to do so. Oftentimes they spent like 3 or 4 days in a town where they weren't expecting to stay. But I mean, to hear Brett tell these stories, man. I mean, and how kind some of these people in these small towns are. Yeah. They took them in like strangers, let them stay in their backyard. Some of them let them stay in their house. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Had dinner. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Isn't some of the best? But aren't some of the best stories you've ever had things that just happen
unexpectedly?
Yeah.
Right. Things that just happen, like you a trip, and you got to do this, but you went here and this happened, and then that's the best part of it. Yeah. We literally went on a golf trip. I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago. We finish up, and we're on the 18th hole, and there's a guy having a party, and there's got to be 25 people at his house.
Off the golf course there?
Off the golf course, right on the 18th hole. We finish up.
Or on the course.
And we're one of the last groups. There's probably like 6 groups in our group. And we look over, and not only does he have a yard full of guys, he's got a yard full of our guys. And now there's 40 people.
He just invited everybody over. Come on over.
Yeah, he just come on over. We get there. We're one of the last groups to come in. He goes like, "Yeah." He goes, "You guys got any beers?" No. He goes, "Oh, go down to the basement and grab a beer." We just walk in his house.
Yeah.
We're walking in his house, down to the basement. He goes, "Where's the basement?" Right there. Walk down there, grab a couple of beers, come up. We literally partied there, I'm going to say for 2.5 hours with this guy.
That's great.
Because he was having a party, just doing his thing.
Yeah.
And it's one of the, I will tell you now, it's one of my favorite things of all time.
But that's a little bit different because that's a little more controlled. I mean, he lives on a golf course.
No, we're talking about
all your friends are
spontaneous.
there.
but the
Yeah,
spontaneity of doing something.
Yeah.
Those are some of the funnest days.
And that thing you just end up doing.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I think 2.5 hours versus 3 months or 8 months of your time is a big difference. But yeah, I agree. Spontaneity is great.
I think you have to be a different kind of person to be able to go for 3 months
I get
and just
it.
do something.
The whole
like
sense
that.
of
You do.
wanderlust. I get it. You want to explore. Blah blah blah. Yeah, like when you're young, like you graduate college, go backpacking in Europe. You heard that's pretty popular.
Right.
I'm just saying, the world, unfortunately, is a dangerous place. And you just have to.
Oh
be
yeah, you
careful.
got to avoid. You got to avoid.
I don't think the world is a dangerous.
If you go
place.
backpacking in
are.
Europe, you got to avoid that area in London with the werewolves. Remember those two Americans?
Yeah.
American werewolf in
I
London.
don't think it's that dangerous. I think we get scared by that stuff. But
Yeah.
I
I
think
agree.
sometimes
I agree.
to do it for a prolonged period of time, you have to kind of be.
You have that at the time.
You have to be more free spirited.
Yeah.
And I think we get beat down as we get older.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, we go to the same goddamn bar every single time. And it's barely, I mean, the only time we don't go to the same bar is when that bar is not available for us to go to.
Actually, I was
I
thinking.
want you to think about that. Think about how lame we are.
Yeah.
Think about that.
But here's the funny thing. So if I had to do something kind of.
And where are we going tonight?
No.
Where are we going in the next 15 minutes?
If I had to go somewhere semi-adventuresome, what I would do, actually, instead of getting a motorcycle, I would get that 3-wheel Can-Am Spider, which is pretty cool. So it's that 3-wheel motorcycle, and they're actually not that expensive. I would take a long road trip to, like, say, the Dakotas or something, right? What's that, Sturgis, South Dakota? That's where all the bikers go.
Ted, 3 days.
Yeah.
No, that's how long it would take you to die on a Can-Am. That's how long it would take you to die on any kind of motorcycle.
Yeah.
And if you got a 2-wheel motorcycle,
I'm not doing that. Yeah,
30
I'm not
minutes.
I'm not crazy.
30 minutes you'd be dead.
Yeah.
But I'll give you 3 days on a Can-Am.
Yeah.
Howard and Harlem done.
Yeah. No, but I would
Never made out of
do a
the city.
Can-Am. I was looking at that because it's so funny. My dad drove a motorcycle. My dad drove a Harley.
Mm-hmm.
My mom rode a Harley.
Yeah.
I have never. Well, I think when I was like 15, when
Yeah.
my buddy had a motorcycle, I have never actually ridden a motorcycle on a road.
Yeah.
In my life.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my buddy Brett, he drives he rides his bike to Sturgis every year and back. He actually, now that everyone's getting older, the last couple of years they trailer them there, so they got their bikes while they're out there. A lot of people do that.
What?
A lot of people do
They
that.
don't
yeah.
ride there?
No.
Oh,
I mean, he did for a
fuck,
lot.
I could do that. I
He
ride
did
my
every
bike
year.
out there,
Yeah.
park it, and then just go turn it off and go back in the bar.
Well, I mean, there's so many people that do that. They trailer their bikes up there.
Dude, I'm in.
I mean, so you have your bike when you're in Sturgis because you're not just going into town. You're going on long rides the whole time you're there. You're going out for 8 hours riding all around the Dakotas and shit like that, sightseeing.
Oh, I
And
thought you were just driving around looking at chicks taking their tops off.
Sturgis
I'm
is a destination and an event in itself. But when you're out there, you're like, it's great riding. That's why they all get there. I mean, all around
there's
there's
no
great
people,
riding. Yeah,
there's-
but like
well,
Brett
it's
said,
like, it's Montana. It's like wide open. I mean, it's literally the best place to ride the roads. I mean, I'm saying go 100 miles an hour, but you could if you want to. But yeah, it's like wide open. It's not like driving on Lakeshore Drive on a motorcycle where it's
not-
like,
it's
Oh,
not
no,
crazy.
that's
You
like
would not
you might
wanna-
as well just kill yourself.
you
Exactly,
got to
yeah.
remember something. It's in August, I think, and you're riding through the plains. I mean, the weather there is so unpredictable. You get hail, you can get snow sometimes, you can get fucking rain. The hot, it could be cold. It just comes out of nowhere. And I mean, I know like Brett and his wife Tanya, they've ridden on the bike. She's on the back of the bike. They've ridden out there before, back and forth a couple times, and she's like, "Yeah, no more." She's like, "I'll drive the Suburban with the trailer if you want to ride." So a couple times they rode, and the girls were right behind them in the trailers.
That sounds
And now they
pretty
just
cool.
trailer
That's
it, and
their
then
thing, yeah.
But I mean, it's Anyway,
All right, so I'll ask you guys a question, and there's no way you can get this right. It's impossible. And when I heard this number, it blew my mind. How much do you think the Girl Scouts make every year selling their cookies? And hold on, before you guess, and before anybody thinks about this, if you don't know this, if you're listening to this, I want you to take whatever you're going to guess. I want you to quadruple it.
well, it's that time of year, so people have probably already
Yeah,
heard.
I want
this,
you
but I
to
don't know.
quadruple it and then add a little bit more to it. How much do the Girl Scouts
All right, Ted,
make
you go first. Ted.
selling their cookies every year?
okay, this might
Every
be
year.
If it's going to be a trap, I'm going to say $35 million.
Mark, I'm going to give you I'm going to help you make a pick. Ted is so infinitesimally low.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Ted is so infinitesimally low.
I meant
that his number,
$350 million.
It cannot be a
Okay,
billion.
you just said 350 million.
I said 335 million.
Ted is
35
now
million.
so infinitesimally low that you can't fathom the number I'm going to give you.
All right, then go. I'm not even going to guess.
Every year, this is the average of what Girl Scouts make every year. $800 million a year.
We're in the wrong job.
Selling their cookies.
We're in the wrong job. We're in the wrong business.
That's a lot of dough.
Oh,
Cookie
I
dough.
knew it. You know what?
Literally and figuratively.
2-drink minimum, Mark. You'll be here all night.
I was praying to God you weren't going to say that. Dude, so here's how I found this out, right? I see a thing. So there's some girls in Texas who are selling cookies out in front of a Walmart, right?
I've actually Walgreens right here on Devon and Eagle. I've seen
so
that. Yep.
some guy, I guess, kicks over the table, grabs the bag of money. Why the bag of money would be sitting there for any asshole to grab, I don't know. And he takes off. And people are just like, oh, my God, we want to help you because, you just don't make any money. And so people donated. And one guy was just like, why are you guys doing this? It's like, we want to help these girls. They make.
Yeah, but it's collectively, but the girls have a goal to meet. They're doing it for themselves.
Right. But overall, they make
I know.
almost $1 billion. And this is selling cookies.
Yeah, but it's not about the whole.
And
It's
you know
the
what
girls selling it.
and you know
They get like badges and shit like that, right?
They still got their badges. You know what they could have got if they would have been a little faster? Crime stopping badge.
Actually, you know what? But you didn't finish the story. So actually, the guy who took the bag of money, he was actually one of the parents. He staged it so they could get donations after the fact. See,
Was that real?
That's called thinking. I'm just making it
Oh
up. I don't know.
shit!
Well, they got like $40 from me.
Yeah.
From Cal. Somebody at work.
Yeah. So
she's like, I need $40 cash
So
because
it's
I bought.
basically like giving money to Joel Osteen. So basically,
Oh, and I'll tell you this.
so giving $40 to the Girl Scouts is like giving $50. Is like giving $500 to Joel Osteen when you only have 5,000 or like 2,500.
But Matt's like me. If your doorbell rings, house gets shut down. Nobody fucking answers the door.
I don't answer the door.
So no, I don't. So the
I turned
doorbell's ringing.
I turned the lights off.
It was a Sunday. It was Super Bowl Sunday. It was Super Bowl Sunday. Kelly had some work to do in the morning. I'm in back making my wings and shit, and I come in the house and the doorbell's ringing. It's fucking 10 o'clock on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday.
Hold on.
I look out there. There's two adults, two grown women, pulling a wagon with Girl Scout cookies, selling them for their daughters.
And those wagons are made of solid
Okay,
gold.
so hit me with the number because the last time I saw, so we had some people at work. You work at a school, and I never sold anything at school, so I always got pissed. I never got any money from anything, right? I never sold anything. I never did anything, but the women would come in and like, my girls are selling Girl Scout cookies, or this guy's he's selling candy bars or some shit like that, right? And I always do no thanks. But there's a woman I work with, and she was just great. She was just very helpful. So I'm like, yeah. I go, put me down for 3 boxes. I think they're $8 a box. I thought they were like $2 or $3. I have no idea.
No, I think they're
this is
more
like
than
$10.
that.
This is like 10 years ago.
Yeah, no,
so I'm like, put me down for 3 boxes. I go, whatever you don't sell, just give them to me.
I think they're $10 a box because we just bought 4 boxes for $40. So I think they're $10.
Yeah. And so she's like, oh yeah,
I think she got 4 boxes.
She's like, it's like $30, and I'm like, well,
do you know what's the thing at school now though? Like at our school, the public school, like Lyle's girlfriend, my son's girlfriend, she bakes cookies, and takes them to school and sells them.
What?
Yeah.
So she just sells pot cookies to all the kids?
Not pot cookies. They'll come. So she came over to the house and they made her school cookies for us. They're just sugar cookies. She just makes them and then takes them to school and sells them for like $1 a piece. It's crazy, yeah.
I like the entrepreneurship of that. I do. I like the entrepreneurship of that. Yeah. And if she can get a bunch of people across the country to do this, she can make $800 million a year.
School cookies.
It seems impossible, but
no.
Did you,
Ted,
did you
when I heard that number,
research this?
yes.
Okay.
So when I heard the number,
He
when the
Googled
guy,
it.
Did you go to Gaggle or Google?
Dude, I went
What
to
search engine did you use?
you can't fucking believe this.com.
Were you on the dark web?
Yeah. I literally lost my shit when I found that out.
You tossed your cookies.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, it's fucking nuts. All right, let's put this thing to bed. Mark, are you looking this up?
Yeah.
It's $800 million. You can look it up.
Now it's
There's
825 million.
absolutely, yeah, it is
No,
absolutely.
I wanted to
locked in
look
stone.
at not the number. I wanted to look at the prices per box.
Oh,
So I'm trying to figure that out.
$500,000
No, for one box.
for Thin Mints. Peanut butter and chocolate. That'll be.
You know what's funny?
I'm wondering how many boxes I got coming.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I mean, yeah, it's a Thin Mints, and that's great. But
They're not. I'm not that crazy.
No.
About them. Are you?
Snickerdoodle, $1.3 billion. million dollars.
It's just not that. I mean, there's nothing about it that's special or anything. I mean, honestly, if I was going to have a cookie, my go-to cookie is a Chip Ahoy.
Yeah.
That is my frozen
Ooh.
Chip Ahoy.
I've been at Chip Ahoy in years.
and
And you could buy them online too now.
Chip Ahoy's?
No,
no,
the Girl Scout
that was
cookies.
part of how they make their.
Yeah,
that's part
I'm
of
sure
why
they're
the money
making
is
way
so
more
high.
money, yeah.
That's part of why it is.
You know what the funny thing? The opposite is. Didn't the Boy Scouts of America actually file for bankruptcy? So they don't even exist anymore, right? Because of all the
That
sexual.
was a different thing. Yeah, that was Teddy.
What about
Teddy,
Boy Scout cookie? was there anything called? Was there?
Ted,
such
you know
thing
what?
as
Boy
Scout
Scouts.
cookies?
Boy Scouts or Boy Scout cookies? Yeah,
they were the cookie. All right,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah. Oh, dude, don't
right.
even. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but yeah, Boy Scouts. Boy Scouts
I
were
can't
ended
find
up.
it. But anyway.
Yeah, Boy Scouts were ended up being really.
Oh, on a side note, just real quick. So I know this isn't really funny, but so there was a PBA tournament. There was a professional bowlers tournament, just like I think a couple of weeks ago, and so a pro bowler that you probably never heard of, they actually arrested him in the middle of the tournament for child porn. So they actually took him away. He bowled one game, then the police came in and just took him away in front of everybody.
He was that bad?
They announced it why they're arresting him too.
Yeah.
Child porn guy here,
Yeah,
taking him away.
Anyone who bowled a 210 and Roger, you've downloaded about 10 million hours of kitty porn, you're busted.
It's
Told you,
funny
they're
how they knew.
they're
like
coming-
they,
they're coming for you.
No, everybody's assumed.
Yeah,
They
as soon as they
just-
took him away.
they just-
What else could it be?
Yeah.
What else could
It's
it be?
not parking
Yeah,
tickets. It's
no,
not
it
parking
wasn't.
tickets.
Yeah, it wasn't tax. Yeah, Roger got
I'm
taken
pretty
away.
sure they
Tax
don't-
evasion? Nope. Child porn.
What do you?
He's a pedo.
I mean, instantly they knew. Well, they finally got him.
Outstanding
Another one down. Another
outstanding
bowler
warrants,
down.
Outstanding warrants.
I wonder. You know what? I would imagine.
How did they find out?
No, I would imagine at most bowling tournaments, there's at least one or two guys that are arrested for child porn.
Well, remember I was talking to you just the other
At
day.
each tournament?
No,
Each
no,
tournament.
remember I was talking to you like so. I bowled with a guy. I bowled not with him, but I bowled on the same league with him years ago. And you know, I mean, I wasn't like, you know, I saw him. I said hi to him once in a while. But like years like after that, I think my buddy sent me a photo of him. Like he actually got busted for, and he got some serious prison time for. And not just like child porn. I think he was like grooming some underage kid. and they showed the guy's picture because I guess he wore a wig when he bowled, and they showed him without the because obviously you got to take that off. You know,
A wig?
well he wore like a rug.
Like the Big Lebowski, John Turturro's character.
he wore like
Jesus.
he wore like a rug.
Remember, he was a
he's a
sex offender.
But when they
Yeah,
arrest
sex
you, you can't have that, so they took the rug
Oh,
off.
for
so
the
they-
picture.
for the
Oh,
mugshot, yeah. So and it was like the guy. It was like, oh, there he is, you know. So
Add insult to injury.
yeah,
Yeah.
super friendly though. I bet he was.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. I bet. I bet. Ted.
friend all, yeah, friend all.
You look like you're about 9. Yeah. No. All right, let's put this thing to bed. Mark, last thoughts.
He's flummoxed. He's flummoxed. You should have
Yes.
picked
Well,
him
we
first.
ended it on a pedophile bowling.
Pedophile. I mean, come on. I'm telling you right now. I bet every bowling. If we walked into any bowling alley at any time,
kind
no
of a
matter
blank-
how
it's kind of a blanket
crowded or
it's kind of a
uncrowded it
blanket
is,
statement there.
there's at
It
least
is a blanket statement.
there's at
That's-
least
I don't-
4
that's not-
pedophiles
okay.
in a bowling alley at any point.
That's
What about
wrong.
pickleball court?
Pickleball court is cripples. Nothing but cripples. Well,
Yeah.
our buddy George.
Wear eye protection.
We were playing golf with him yesterday, and George was we were laughing about all the pickleball injuries, and he literally got blasted in the eye with a pickleball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it turned into a crazy story. I mean, the story just went on forever, and it took like the 16th. He told his story on like the 3rd hole about how he got hit in the eye, and it took all the way to the 16th hole to find out what happened. Actually, happened to
But
his
do you remember
eye.
what led up to that story? What we were talking about?
No, what did we talk about?
That the bush that your ball went into?
Oh, the rape bush.
Yeah. He says, speaking of rape bushes,
That was funny.
and
So-
and then we were all like, oh my God, this is not going to be good. And he
It
started
was-
going on in the story, and it was 5 minutes until we found out.
It was funny. So I hit a ball, and it goes into like this kind of like this large like 15 by 20 bush.
like a gorse bush.
Right.
Yeah,
And I was
right?
like, don't go in there, Matt.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, you just hit in a rape bush, and we were joking about it, right? Because it's funny. And George goes, speaking of rape bush, and I'm just like, oh, where's this going to
Wow,
go?
triggered his memory
Yeah.
there.
I was like, George, don't tell us anything that happened. Yeah. And it ended up being hit in the eye with a pickleball.
That
Which I still don't understand that concept of how it went from rape bush to hit in the eye with a pickleball. Yeah, it makes no sense to me. But with that thought, Mark, last thoughts.
Stay out of bushes on golf courses.
No, just the rapey
And
ones.
wear eye protection when you play with pickles.
Get medically
And
cleared.
balls.
Get medically cleared by your doctor before you play pickleball, since it seems to
I
be
don't think it
inherently
matters
dangerous.
at this point, Ted. I think when you hit like and most of the people are playing like 50 and over, unless you're in a professional pickleball league, whatever, and like you're a professional picklist. But I mean, we're just not designed to move back and forth and to do things. so if you're not playing golf or walking slowly, yeah, you're gonna fall to pieces.
Walk when you golf too. That's a new campaign.
Oh yeah,
Stay out of the carts, man. Get out there. You know what I looked up? We walked over 5 miles yesterday.
How many steps is that?
37.
About 12,000 steps.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Maybe a little
nice.
bit more. Actually, more. I'm not. I don't know, but that course was over 5 miles.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was 6,600 yards, I think. So if you're walking, the course itself probably doesn't equal 5 miles, but I think it came out to 5.8 miles, the total time from where we were going, and well, you Ted, it's like eight miles.
Yeah, I took a lot of
Yeah.
detours along the way.
Definitely 8 miles for you.
Yeah,
Definitely
definitely.
a good driver. All right, Teddy, last thoughts.
Okay, I don't want to be a weatherman or anything. So as you know, we're going to be in Arizona next week. So I have good news and bad news. The good news is
Yeah, this
there's-
weekend.
it's
No,
gonna-
not
yeah,
next week. This weekend.
There's going to be great weather, except it's going to be better here than it is here.
I don't think so. I think we're fine. I think
I think you're gonna be fine too. But you're
I'm
right.
just
It is
messing
unseasonably warm here. It's gonna be
It's going
70
to be on
tomorrow.
par. It's going to be on par. At least the weekend weather here, supposedly as of right now, is going to be just as good. Whatever.
Yeah, the weather in Chicago is potentially going to be equal or better than the weather in Tucson on March 1st.
Hey man, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I you know what? I don't have great luck for Arizona recently, but it's gonna be fine. All right. Next week, no guest. Once again, so we will ramble on endlessly. And then we got just a slew of guests. We're going to have a good time. It is going to be a blast. Loving every second of this. Listen, tell your friends. Get on TikTok. Get on Instagram. Join us. Like us. Follow us. Just don't do what we do, I think is the key, right? And you know what? Stay out of the rape bushes. And we will see you guys next week.